Mommy's not home. My mommy's not home. What do you want? Mommy's not here. Your mama's not here. She's out on the corner making the monies. She's making the dollars.
Should we get going? Okay. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I don't need you here today. Well then, screw you, buddy. No free shit for you. I was gonna give you $100. Alright. Me $100, motherfucker. Anyway, what's up? Like the empty wall? We're doing something different with the wall, and I'll explain it in a couple of minutes, man. Bass, what is up, kiddo? Lol, I don't get ads. If you're watching it on a phone or if you're watching it through the YouTube app through the shorts area, you don't get served ads. If you watch it by clicking on my channel and then clicking on the lives tab, or if you go through the notification that gets sent out, you get ads. The wall is looking very basic bitch today, and we did that on purpose, and I'll explain that when we get a few more people in here. The Osprey on the Dan Wesson. No, that's not on the Dan Wesson. The Dan Wesson is the second one. The Osprey is on my Fusion Firearms. Oh, if you were here lingering. Dude, I've been watching your chats for the last hour, guys. I just don't answer you. Especially those of you that don't contribute to the channel monetarily. Why should I access you? I'm just kidding. I love you all. Fuck you. So apparently I missed some drama at GunCon. Did you guys see the post from Legally Armed America and Johnny B? And the Attorney General of Missouri? That was an interesting thing. Yeah, the wall's very empty tonight because we'll talk about that as we get into this here. Yeah, it was astounding. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing. Now, the guy had the right to ask them not to be on his property, but asking them not to 10 seconds after they started the day was pretty shitty. There are not Glocks, don't matter. You will get the ad if you were in the chat before the thing starts. What? Dude, you typed so poorly that whole sentence. Is your child using your phone? Quiet, I'm bidding on a computer. It's a Computron. Let's see electronics. Ooh, tape decks. We don't care about tape decks. Yeah, fuck it. Red Robin, yo. Sorry, guys, I'm watching some shit while I'm doing this, so pay attention. So GunCon will be at a new place next year? Probably. I can't imagine that John Patton is going to want to stay at a location that did that to him. What's with the body of the Dodge? So that is my father's previously. It's a long ass story, but that truck has 255,000 miles on it, and I'm doing some rust prevention and rust correction. You can see in the picture it doesn't have much rust, has very little rust actually, but I'm actually taking the rust off and undercoating the underside of the bed and putting a new fuel pump in it and all kinds of stuff. And it was just a picture I had on my phone. No diggy. Everybody's going to come in here and is like, God dang, he's so sad. All his guns are gone. Nope. I'll explain it when the more people get in here. When we get to 40 people, I'll explain what's going on. Actually, when we get to 8:30, I'll explain what's going on. We'll see if anybody's willing to stay around and listen for that long. I don't have that kind of freaking patience. Did you just say patience? Yeah. You're kind of stupid. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Why would anybody want to buy a dead man's frickin' bedspread? Oh, wait, nobody does. It's why it's at $0. Grayson, what's up, kid? I want your grill. Send your grill. care of the Jiminy Show. The talking to yourself is fun. Thank you. Did something happen to the truck? That's my dad's truck. My dad and I both happen to have black Dodge Rams. Why is everybody talking without all the letters? Weird. Are those actually Ray-Bans? Am I actually bidding on Ray-Bans? Oops. Yeah. Accidentally bidding on... Ooh. XXX on silver. That means it's actually silver, right? Or does XXX means it's filled? Either way, I'm going to melt it. So GunCon, I'll send you a grill. No, I want the Rebel grill, but I'm too poor. I can't afford it. What is today? English different today. Gotcha. Jimbo, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome in. All right, there's enough of you in here. So the wall. I've decided to change what I'm doing with the wall because it is a new room, new me, all this stuff. You'll send me a Rebel grill? I'm down. Do it. Why do some shotgun cartridges jam? Because of the shape of the shell, maybe. The casing that they're in, possibly. But the wall is only going to be guns that you guys help me get, either through sponsors or donations or through money I earn through YouTube. So if I buy a gun with any money that comes in through the channel, it goes on the wall. I'm not putting any of the guns that are up in the store for sale anymore. So the whole wall, there's also like 10 guns that aren't up there. My personal collection, I'm put away a bunch of the guns that I never shoot anymore. So we're starting kind of fresh. So you see, so I already sent back SIG's 1911, but I got the 2 Fusion firearms. Those are going to the range with me tomorrow. Although I got to put the stock barrel back in the XF because right now it's got a threaded barrel on it to run the suppressor. The T-Sauce, the Daria Armed, you guys helped me pay for that. The T-Sauce, which was from the Night Stalker, which used to be mine. I sold to Stone, and now I'm trying to get it back from him. The Rock Island 5.0, the Dan Wesson, and the Star Wars blasters. So those are the only guns going up there for right now. As I get more guns in, personal or otherwise, like I said, sponsors, review guns, etc., they'll go on the walls. You can get a Rebel grill for $20. That's crazy. Can we send hours that we don't use anymore? Dude, if you guys wanted to, and I know you're joking, but if you guys really wanted to send a gun to me, I would absolutely 100% take a firearm from any of you and put it up on that wall. Gifts I don't sell. When somebody gifts me something, I keep it for as long as I can. Fuck you, don't outbid me, bitch. Hello, American. I wish you a good day of gun talk. Thank you, whole dude. You spoke better than most of my English-speaking peoples in here, or Americanized people. Beep, beep, boop, 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 ba-da. Stereographic. Ooh, is that a... Ooh, shit. Oh, it's at $65 now. Do I want to buy a kitchen stand mixer for $65? I'll let it go. I saw it too late. I'm going to send you a dagger then. Let me get it coated first. Whatever you want to do, place called, you pull it. I got to go pull it off a truck. Dude, if you can find a Rebel grill and Rebel headlights, let me know. I'll pay for them. I just can't find one around my place. Now that you said that, someone's going to send you a Glock. I don't care. If somebody gifts me a Glock, I will gladly put it up on the wall. I don't mind putting up... As boring as it is, I'm going to scratch your name into it with my Dremel. But yes, I will put it up on the wall. Pay to put a penis on a dagger and I'll send it to Joe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do whatever you want. What type of auto fire guns? I have no full auto firearms. Thank you very much for asking, but I do not have any full auto firearms. Full auto firearms. English! We hate it here. Hello. Why is everybody doing this? Here's the problem. If it's got a PP on it, I'm going to have to cover it with tape when it's on a live stream, but I will do it. What is the difference between a $500 shotgun to a $20,000 shotgun? Many things. Metallurgy, the hand fit, because like some of the Berettas that are like $6,000 side by sides versus like a Beretta 1301, big difference, my guys. So it all comes down to what's involved in the manufacturing process. A Turkish $500 shotgun, literally, you have a man in a factory standing in front of either a conveyor or a station. Parts come in, he slaps them together, racks it, whatever, tests it once, sends it on its way. Something like a Coach Works gun that costs $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, literally every single piece is hand fit, hand assembled. A lot of times they're done individually on each machine versus mass produced stuff. So you'll have a guy that will literally sit and file a little bit, reassemble the gun, test how it works, file it, reassemble the gun. So it's just all about time. Jake Paul want to fight you. That doesn't make any sense, Kevin. You know why? Because I'm not a washed up over the hill boxer. He needs to fight somebody that's currently a good boxer. And I'm not denying he has boxing skills, but he needs to fight a current boxer. Everybody he fights is retired or has a bad record. I love the USP 45 silence with the flashlight, all thanks to Metal Gear Solid 2. Nice, you should get one. How many attachments do you want on your pistol? Me. Yep. Dude, it's missing one. It's got a suppressor, a light, but no optic on that one. The rest of them, that's got an optic, that's got an optic and a light, that's got an optic and a light, that's got an optic, a light, a muzzle device, and a Volquartz and bolt. That's got an optic. That isn't mine anymore, so I can't do shit to it. What do you think about an FN 509? I don't recommend the 5 Series. If you are going to buy the 5 Series, buy a used one and don't buy one that's FDE. Apparently, they're having some kind of issues with their polymer with the FDEs because those are the ones that are cracking. Do I have a Remington 700? Nope. What happened to all the guns on the wall? I took them down on purpose. I just explained it 7 minutes ago. See, if you were on time to the live stream, you'd know what's going on. But in a nutshell, it's only for guns that I'm getting from either sponsors, YouTube money, donations, or if you guys send me a gun. So I'm going to build the wall up with guns that will never leave that wall. Well, they'll go into my safe when I'm not on live. But I'm going to move a safe into this room. And the guns on this wall will only be guns that either come from my YouTube side of my life or through donations and tests. That's what I intend to do. Because I'm awesome. New Misha, yeah. DYI19 looking nice on your site. More questions will come soon in an email. Yeah, I can order you a new one, but the one that I was on the site, I forgot to take it down because I'm keeping it. Please don't scratch my name into the barrel I sent. It might be worth money eventually. No, dude. I already mushroom stamped that one. What's the top pistol on your wall? Either a scope. That is a Ruger Mark IV target. Can we have a fully automatic weapon without breaking the law? Only if you have licenses for it. So if it's a pre-86 and you pay the $200 tax stamp, then yes, you can have a full auto firearm. Sorry I'm late. I had swim practice. All right, I'll let you go. Oh, you're keeping. Okay. Yeah, sorry, but I can easily order you the identical gun. So just email me, Nero. If you're serious about wanting one, just email me. Come to Iran. Pass. What's your opinion on FRT triggers? If you like them and you enjoy them, please, with my compliments, but they are not something that I really even mess with, enjoy, or deal with on any sort of regular basis. Yes, basis. Did not ignore you. I didn't see your question, Hydro Dart. Try it again. What's your loadout for when we invade Haiti under Sir Lord Miles? Why are you invading Haiti? All right. We're going to avoid politicism, religionism, and douchebaggeryanism. I will tolerate douchebaggery. I will not tolerate a lot of stupid shit. Hey man, I'm new to the channel. Cool. Okay. Is the sloth on your right real? No. The one on the left is. The one on the right is fake. It's his decoy for when he goes out partying. Send him 2 to 3 years. Daggins. What the fuck does that mean? What exactly is an FRT? Forced reset trigger. It uses springs and all that stupid shit to make you faster. It also wastes all your money. What country are you from? Uzbekistan. What's important to carry around in the chamber or not? Don't carry a gun if you're not willing to carry one in the chamber. If you're so afraid of your gun going off that you can't trust it, don't carry that gun. Find a gun that you trust and carry with one in the chamber. The Israeli special forces were the only known military body that trained without a round in the chamber, and that's because they were training for the instance when they had to kill you and take your gun and make sure they can get it into action. So they were trained to pick up a gun and rack it. That's why they carried with no rounds in the chamber. The rest of us, plebs, however you want to say it, we carry with one in the chamber. I was dumpster diving in a DQ dumpster, found 2 whipped cream cans. I did the whip it and passed out in the dumpster. Sound like you had a good night. Would you do something strange for a piece of change? I've worn fake titties for $1,000. I've got a tattoo of a Glock on my arm for $3,000. It ain't change. It's fucking dollaritos if you want me to do something stupid. Bill, we'll let that go. Our family's insanely fun. Our family reunion, our 80-year-old grandma ended up semi-auto firing a .247 Ruger from her shoulder and getting a perfect shot from 120 feet. Sounds like you had a good day. I'm going to need your address so you can send that to me on Discord. Yep, I will send it to you. I'm a firearms review channel, Richie. I also do, where the hell did that go? I also do other stuff. I used to do a lot of computer stuff. I started another channel called Jiminy Tech, where you can go if you want to watch any of that stuff. Speaking of which, let me check my bids. I am still winning, and the motherfucker is trying to outbid me, so we're going to raise my bid a little bit. There we go. Fuck you. All right. So, Grayson, there we go. Yes, I look down when I type. I don't actually look at the keys when I'm doing it very much. I'm looking straight ahead, but I do look down when I type. Shit happens. You're a bastard. You're a bastard. You're a bastard. You're a bastard. Any ideas of the approximately waiting time for Form 1s, SBS my 870? I haven't done one in a long time. My Class 3 is not in place yet. So I wear boots for cash. Yes, I wear boots for cash. An SBS shouldn't take more than 30 days because you already own the item. So I had to leave stream. I know if you moved, I don't want to send to old house. No, I just sent it to you on Discord, dude. When's your next live outside at the range? You can't do lives from the range. Lives from the range are banned because I'd be holding and firing a gun on a live stream. Can't do it. Thanks for what you do. No problem. What happened to your guns? I took them all down. So I took all the guns that are currently available for sale in my store down off the wall on purpose because I'm building this wall. This is I want to see how many guns we can get by the end of the year just through donations, sponsored review samples. So both of those Fusion Firearms and the T-Sauce came from their respective companies, and I get to keep those. The Rock Island is, I'm going to try to reach out and get them to give me that gun. And then I have other guns coming. So I'm trying to build that wall, which will just be the YouTube wall. So every gun I review, test, etc., or you guys help me pay for. I forgot to put the Rec 01 Tactical up there. But any guns that you guys help me pay for by donations, watching the videos, liking, subscribing, commenting, members, all that shit will go up on the wall. I want to fill up the whole wall by the end of the war. End of the year. Form 1 waits are now averaging 2 to 3 weeks. Gotcha. Thank you, Nero. Would a rifle be cool to send eventually? Anything that gets sent, absolutely. Like I said, if you were to send me a firearm, no matter what it is, I would put it up on the wall and I would put a tag with your name on it. Rock Island is solid. My EDC is a 1911 45 ACP. Absolutely. I do enjoy the Rock 11s. I actually have one of their double stacks in the store that I got because it was a hell of a deal. Actually, the FS tacked with the optics cut on it. So it has an optic mounted to it already, and it's basically a 2011, so yeah. Can I send you a few Nerf guns? You can send me Nerf guns. They're not going to go up on the gun wall. They'll probably be up here. I'll replace like the tool kits and probably give the Nerf guns to my little buddies here. I'm getting you a Zip 22 just for the giggles. Dude, I would make that shit run. I would gunsmith that thing until it ran good. Hey man, what's up, Justin? I just got a Prodigy, so my double stack is covered. The Prodigy is a solid place to start. If you have any issues, it's typically with the disconnector being a little bit sticky and the gun will stick on it. So just break it in, man. Run a lot of rounds through it. Just thinking about building an NK18. I don't know what that is. Is that like the Mark 18s? What's your hot take on a P80 build? Trash or okay? What I'm going to say when it comes to P80s is the better job you do, the better you're going to wind up with the gun. So I'm not going to say that P80s are trash. I'm going to say that the vast majority of guys slapping these fucking things together are trash. Pardon me, I'm going to cut back on the cussing, but the people that build them are the problem, not the guns themselves. How are those older pair of Ordnance double stack 1911s? I love them, dude. I love them. I've got the 1345, and I'm trying to get my hands on an LDA, but the guy that has it won't give me a good deal. Good to be with you tonight. Stacy, what is going on? How are you tonight? CJ, what's the best gun for self-defense? That's going to be a personalized choice. I carry a 1911. You might like a Glock. You might like a Smith & Wesson M&P. You might like a freaking High Point. So the best thing to do is make sure you find a gun that you're comfortable holding. You have 3,500 rounds for your Prodigy and not one problem. Awesome, dude. So the Prodigy has been out for a few years now. Most of the guns affected were earlier ones. I have still seen, like, my last 5-inch Prodigy still had some disconnector snag, but it was very minimal, and we just lubed the shit out of it. What's your favorite AR-10? Ruger SFAR. I was thinking about building a Mark 18, so I was right. Yeah, that'd be cool. Expensive, but yeah, cool. I'm not old enough to have a gun. No problem then. You're going to have to worry about that. How old are you, CJ? What happened to most of the guns? I took them down on purpose. This is now the YouTube wall. If I don't get it either through donations or deals with manufacturers or through you guys sending me guns, I am not going to put it up on that wall. Also, I will be serial number tracing every gun that gets sent to me, so don't send me a body gun, please. I carry the G2 9mm. So far, it's been reliable. Absolutely, Justin. Treat it well, keep it clean, and it'll run fine. Also, I like the fact that it's got the double strike capabilities. Am I a Nats fan? No. I'm a college ball fan. I got a Darian DY9. It's like Glock. Yeah, that's one right there. And actually, tomorrow, supposedly, I should be receiving the ported Island Comp DY9. Shot my P80, and it has yet to fail me. Only issue I had is one around the chamber slide doesn't want to go back smoothly like it will through around. Yeah, that happens. We don't talk numbers, but show me how much a good price for an XD45. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't deal with the XDs, and I do things as a gun store, man. So when I talk about sales prices and payment prices, I don't. Sorry. How do you track serial numbers? No, you don't track them, you trace them. So you just call in the serial number, you have the police run the serial number, they'll tell you if it's wanted in connection with the crime. So happy I live in a fun-free country. Which country do you live in? Kenyatta? CWL, what's up? What do I think about the PSA Dagger? The PSA Dagger is a great way to start if you want to have like a cheap Glock clone. You just make sure that you test it out very well before you decide to carry it. Make sure it doesn't have any problems. What's that gun on the top left? The gun on the top left. The gun on the top left is a Ruger Mark IV. Your guns are missing. Nope, took down all the guns. Only guns that are up there are guns that are not for sale. Am I a Virginia Tech fan? Not really. Third pin Mac 90. Yeah, I had one. Nice. What if the firearm you got comes back stolen? Then y'all motherfuckers are getting visited. So don't send me a stolen gun. Don't send me a gun that's got a body on it. You have a 308. Yes, I have a Savage Scout 110. Better off getting a Glock police trade-in than a dagger. I'm going to agree with you, Bill. I am going to agree with you. Although I don't agree if it's a 40 cal. If it's a 22 or a 23, no. But if you're looking at a 19 or a 17, sure. Cool. Did I sell everything that was on the wall? No, I'm just not taking it out of the store and putting it up here. So it's all staying where it is. And this wall will only now be for YouTube guns. What college are you a fan of? I just like watching college ball just because they're more apt to be trying harder because they want to get those contracts. When I was younger, I was an Alabama fan. When I was living in Minnesota, I was a Minnesota fan. But honestly, here in Virginia, the teams aren't that great. So I'm probably back to being... I was an Ohio Buckeyes fan for a long time. But probably Alabama is still one of my favorite. Never thought about the dot sights, but my first time holding a Glock, it had a sight on it. Wow, did it make a difference? I played too much Call of Duty, so seeing it in person was awesome. Yeah, a lot of people like the red dots. What do cops do with those weapon buybacks? So the weapon buybacks, they'll either resell them or they'll destroy them. It all depends. They'll run the serial numbers. If they're wanted, then they'll use them to try to solve crimes. What are your thoughts on the XD45 series? The XD45 is fine. It's a little bit light and small for the 45 caliber, but if you shoot it well, that's all that matters. Conversion barrels and you can shoot at least 3 calibers. Yeah, but the minute you start buying 2 more barrels and mags, dude, then you might as well not. Because even if you spend just $100 on the barrel and $60 on 2 mags, then you've just spent another $320 to basically make a Glock. I would just pick 1 caliber, honestly, personally. No guns? Nope. I know that's going to keep happening. So I meant to put up a sign, and I should make it. The only guns on the wall are guns from YouTube. No guns that are for sale are on the wall anymore. So I'm building the wall this year. I want to see if I can fill the wall just from doing lives, YouTube shorts, promotional deals, and T&E guns. So, thoughts on your DWX? Did you have any malfunctions? I own a Staccato P. Would you recommend the DWX, or will I be unimpressed? The DWX is one of the best shooting guns I've ever shot. However, because of how long it took for them to come out with the optics version, pretty much any 2011 will give you the same feel. The metal feels really good. The finish is shit. That's why I battle warned mine, because the finish scratched off with my fingernail. Slide tension lever has been ship broken a few months. I've just seen a lot of people on Reddit getting their daggers. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Nero. If you know your guns and you know how to work on them, then you can do that one. It's better in your opinion, the Hellcat 9mm or the 365? 365. Would I get the 211 GTO? Yes, I'm actually on the list of reviewers to get one. They aren't ready to ship them yet for some reason. So when a gun gets announced, it takes 3 to 6 months before it hits the market. So patience. I am on the list for reviewers to get one. Are there states where you can buy a gun over the counter? As long as you have valid ID and you can pass a background check here in the state of Virginia, you can walk home with the gun. Unless you're under 21 and you're buying a long gun, then there's a mandatory wait. Could be up to 13 days. Still have my 308 SFAR barrel. I'll likely never use that ever again. If I had another upper, I'd probably do a 12-inch 375. Nicer. Thoughts on my wife if I paid you $20 to hit it? Nah, sorry. If you're willing to pay me to hit your wife, Plus, I'm kind of taken now. I'm looking into checking out the Henry AR7. You should. I had one in the store. It's gone, but it was fun. You're 22. You're looking to get in my first 1911. Are TSOS any good? Yes, as long as you are, understanding that you're buying an entry-level gun. You may have malfunctions. It may need a little bit of work, but overall, TSOS is fine. Just gonna send you my grill. Why would you send me your grill? How many cases did you have to open to get that battle-worn pistol? Funny. Literally, I had to give my buddy a few boxes of ammo for him to battle wear it for me. 900 for an XD45 and a Hellcat 9mm from a gun show in Arizona. Is that a good deal? I'm not sure what Arizona prices are doing, but here in Virginia, no. I'm looking forward to the newer Freedom Ordnance FM9. I didn't know they were doing another one. You drink 5 Gatorades before you drink 5 Gatorades, and then you drink 5 more. Well, I drink 0, but yeah. Taken by the lady you got nared up for? Nope, different lady altogether. I really don't like to recommend Shadow Systems guns. They run, absolutely, but they're too much money for what they are. All jokes, cool collection, reminds me of Back to the Future. So, yeah, but I have to rebuild the wall. If you've ever been in any of the other live streams, I normally have about 40 guns behind me, but I took down all the guns that I'm not keeping. So you finally got the real doll? Dude, I got the real doll with the 9-incher right over there on the floor. Do you play any video games? Yes. Compete in any shooting matches? No, I've never actually competed one. They want $500 for a P365. That's the normal going rate, dude. If you're at a gun show and they're not giving you a deal on it, just walk. Susie, what's up? Good, I have a mod in here tonight. What the fuck? Where's all my other mods? Bastards. Check out the newer FM9s. They're really cool. I will later. What are good prices? Everything comes with one mag. The Hellcat comes with two 15s. So, I don't know what Arizona prices are doing. But for an XD 45 here in the state of Virginia, I can usually get one for like $300. For a 365, a standard 365, you should be able to get one for about $400. So you're at least $200 too high. Thoughts on the did it pass mittens? I haven't been following it. How much for the red trigger pistol on the bottom? None of those guns on the wall are for sale. Thoughts on FN45, FNX45, FNH45. I like all of the FN pre 545s. Sloths and Guns is dope. Thank you, Moby, but don't type in all caps, brother. I'll yell at people. Yeah, you used to be a mod. Here you go. If you're hanging out for a little while. Oftentimes here in Montana, there's deals to get 4 mags with an Echelon, Hellcat, and another model. Well, you are automatically get 3 with an Echelon, so getting 4 isn't that big a deal. What's your favorite gun you've reviewed? My favorite gun that I reviewed is probably my Para-Ordnance Black Ops 1911. Boy has all these toys and doesn't even know how to use them. You're right, I don't. Please don't break into my house. I don't know how to use my guns. Please, please. Not passed yet, but they're trying to do a $0 tax but keep the registration process. Yeah, that's stupid, but it might actually stop people. But you know what happens is there are many stores that don't have the silencer shop kiosks will start charging transfer fees. Well, you are now. Would you recommend Kimber, Rock Island, or T-Sauce? Rock Island, honestly, Heisenberg. Kimber is fine, but they had quality control issues for a long time. They're not 100% back on my full recommend list, unless you know how to work on guns. So Rock Island would probably be your best bet. How often do you get sent guns by companies? I really wasn't reaching out to many until I went to the Atlanta show. Since the Atlanta show, SIG, Rock Island, Fusion Firearms, T-Sauce, and Gerson have all sent me guns. Van Scott has to go. You have a great day. Awesome, dude. Thank you for coming in. Don't forget to hit the like. You just bought a Black Rain Bro Spec 15 cool rifle, but oh my god. Yeah, I had the Fallout 15, sold it to my buddy. I just passed my state firearms qualification test for the private security company I work for. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah, Gabe. Good job, buddy. Just 0% tax for SBRs and AOWs. Instructed devices still have the $200 tax. Well, yeah, but yeah, that makes sense, though. I mean, yeah. Pennsylvania's prices are still high. Yeah, I've sold a few guns to people in Pennsylvania because they've come down here and it's cheaper. I have a Springfield 1911. I have the operator. Have I ever shot the Henry Lever Action Supreme? I have not, sir. My NFA dealer has a silencer shop and doesn't use it. They do it their way, and I don't have to pay a kiosk fee. That's interesting. And I can do that too. And the worst part is the kiosk is nearly $6,000. Thoughts on Survival 22 rifles? They're okay. I've played with them, but yeah, not for me. Yeah, the Fallout done does. What do you think of the Kimber 1911s? They're fine. As long as you are familiar with firearms, you can test them, you can go through them, and you can make sure that any issues they might have. You know what I mean? What the fuck? What do you mean my connection failed? Screw you. $60 for an old Dell XPS in the box. Why do you have a Type 14 Nambu with the scope? Because that's a Ruger Mark IV with a Star Wars blaster kit on it. Since I'm not allowed to purchase a pistol, if I send you the money for an Altor 9mm, will you put one on the wall? Dude, if you were to send me the money for the Altor, I would put it up there, and it would be hilarious. You got me sold on Rock Island. Thank you. No problem, Jimbo. How's it going? Happy Monday. Teal Cult, what's up? 22 is fun if you're into plinking. Yeah, I like plinking. In fact, I'm going to take a Heritage to the range tomorrow. No matter what, I think the NFA is unconstitutional as well as the GCA, just my opinion. Oh, I 100% agree with you, Mittens, but the problem is we can't just say that and then ignore what's currently on the books. So, yeah, we have to take the wins as we get them. When the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned the stupid brace shit that the ATF did and the bump stocks, and now that if they pass the acts for the short and the HPA, we're moving in the right directions. It's the same battle, I call it a battle that marijuana enthusiasts have been fighting since the 60s. We've been fighting it basically since the 60s as well. So we're making progress. As small as the progress is, any progress in the right direction is good. What brand of suppressor do you recommend, or are they all about the same? Watch some videos. It's hard to get the differential in terms of decibels in them, but watch a lot of videos in terms of whether or not they're thread-on, direct mount, tri-lug, etc., and see what you like best based on how they're able to run them. I like Silencer Co., but I do like Dead Air as well. I have a Kimber 1911. Some would say they just have a break-in period. Well, what happens, Corbin, is they use very good materials when they build a Kimber, but they don't do full hand fitment like they used to do back in the day. They do some hand testing and things like that. They're hand adjusted to make sure that they basically fire, but they have tighter tolerances than a lot of 1911s from the factory. So if you can do just a little bit of polishing yourself, you can make them very reliable. They're very high end. Walk in, they got a Browning M2 suppressor in there, Barrel 107, Barrett 107s, Bears, tons of cans, high price crap, multiple $75,000 cabinets. That makes sense. Which heritage? I've got the Barkeep and I've got the 22 mag cylinder with it. What's my opinion on 5.7? I like it. It's a fun range round. I really wouldn't carry one, but they're fun. Jiminy, how you on the fine Monday? Brandon, I'm doing good. Just got an HK MP522. What's your opinion on that gun? I haven't shot it yet. It's a cool training device if you want to run an HK MP5 down the road for functionality, but it's not a real HK. It's built by Umarex, but it's a cool gun. Picked up a PSA dagger at the location. Slide with MOS black. Take 15 rounds PSA mags or 43X mags. Nice. Do I add on $20 for background checks, or since you're in FFL, is it all right? You don't need to add anything for a background check. It's all good because I'm an FFL. With new SCOTUS opinion, the district courts cannot implement national-wide injunctions. We lost a Fifth Circuit opinion injunction on braces only good for go away, NRA, and other 2As. So that hasn't been fully ratified, has it? Because as a FFL, I have not received a notification saying that braces had to be removed. So until I receive some kind of notification from the ATF telling me that has been ratified or anything like that, I'm not obeying. The ATF, which handles my FFL, will advise me if braces are no longer allowed to be on the gun. You picked up your first mil surplus. Nice. Put in a property stamp. Plus, put a property stamped unified Enfield on hold as well. Nice, dude. Got to get the all-white Mark IV. Cool. If it's a zero tax and it has no legal standing to remain in the NFA, it just needs to be, yeah, Supreme Court. Yep. Alex, what's up? If you're able to slow motion chat, you stay in order very well. No, I'm just reading everyone and reading as many as I can. The Barkeep and Rough Rider are a ton of fun. To know the Heritage Roscoe is decent. Well, I've never put my hands on the Roscoe. I want to. That's a lie. I've touched the Roscoe. I've just never shot one. Jansen, what is up? Yeah, I know what you meant, Brandon. Can felon owns guns? If you get your rights restored, yes. What's the difference between Ruger and Type 14 Nambu Imperial Japanese? Everything. A Ruger Mark IV has nothing in common with the Nambu. You hydrating? Got it right here, brother. Any opinions on M1 carbines? What are they going for money-wise? Depends on the brand. They can be anywhere from $750 to $1,500, depending on the brand and condition, year, quality. If you get one that's been restocked, rebarreled, like CSR, when they do their rebarreled M1s, they're worthless comparative to a real one. I'm just about to spark a fat joint. What's good? Gaming. Do what you got to do, bro. Big Erm says, Excelente. Thank you, Mr. Erm. That's right. On the Jiminy Show, I answer every goddamn question I can. When are you going to show us your dirty hat collection? I pretty much wear my dirty hats all the time. I replace them once in a while. I have my didn't go to GunCon hat. I just haven't put it on. I'll wear it tomorrow. It was actually issued to the Iowa National Guard in World War II and just kind of never got touched. Number 4, Mark II Savage. Nice, dude. 30 carbine pistols are nice and amazing and expensive, dude. I fired an Automag 3 without realizing it was like a $3,800 gun. I had to test fire it though. The guy had bought a second slide and barrel, and it was galling because Automags were not that well annealed. What happened to your AR-15? It's just not on the wall. How far do you live from your store? I can throw a rock. I think we have 30 days until the federal district court and nationwide injunctions go into effect. After 30 days, you may get the order from the ATF. But glad to hear you didn't get a notice yet. Yeah, they haven't even hinted that that's coming through. So until I get a notice, I'm literally not paying any attention to anything I hear anywhere else. The ATF is the only place that I'll accept it from, hopefully in the 30 days. Typically, after something gets overturned, there's 180 days, not 30 days when it comes to rulings in regards to firearms. But again, we'll see what happens. I took down all the guns that are not for sale, or that are for sale. The only guns up there are the YouTube guns. I went to GunCon, laughed after 15 minutes. Yet, what a joke! Yeah, the video put out by Legally Armed America and Johnny B kind of said it all. Your Mosin is counterboard for accuracy and from 1939. Interesting. Customer service at the Greenville, South Carolina perimeter was lacking severely for the first time ever until I knew I was actually buying a new gun. That sucks, T-Cult. Do you have Sig Sauer? Yes. Gunshot. Sold my guns and bought an Atlas. Well, sold two. I hope you like it, dude. ATF, defund them. Absolutely. How'd the RA50 do? It did extremely well. I actually have to edit that video tonight. I've got 3 range videos that I need to edit from last week, and then I need to go and film more today or tomorrow. Today's Monday. I'm going to film them tomorrow. Sorry, I'm looking it up. I want to find where it was actually announced. Anyways, we'll see what happens. What's your holy grail old school wise? Don't really have one. I probably want like a World War I 1911. Any new couch vids in the works? Yeah, I uploaded 2 of them. If you're a member, you are a member. 2 Fusion Firearms videos went up today. Prodigy comp or Shadow 2 comp? Probably a Shadow 2. Somebody asked me over text if I had a Sig Sauer, claiming they were right. Next time, just say, yep, it's Garbage Pail Kids. Wait, what's going on with the MFA ruling? I don't know. Mass no compliance might be the only chance for the 2A community. Not saying anyone needs to or should agree with me, just my thoughts. Can you link me to that ruling? Obviously, the internet is trash. Yeah, so if you can link me to that ruling, I do want to read it just so I get some information. Can you get a Glock 18 with green laser and extended mag? I can because I'm a dealer. What work did you have done in Winchester, Virginia? What does that mean? I own a gun store in Winchester, Virginia. Do you have an Arasaka? No, sir. Did the Dan Wesson rust? No, I will show that up close in about 10 minutes. On the felon topic, 99% of the time you get your firearms right back. You get your firearms rights back if it's a nonviolent crime and a felony charge. Yeah. So typically, most states, it's a 10-year waiting period. Then you have to apply for your rights back. And it's a state-based approval only. You will not be allowed to buy federally controlled items such as machine guns, suppressors. Anything that's currently on an NFA list will not be legal for you to purchase as a rights restored felon. Yeah, no, if you can, Mittens, that'd be great. I'd just like to read it for myself. See what I can do. Might take a bit. All right, dude. No shirt. What's your store called? Wind City Armory. Is Galil just an AK knockoff? No, it's got a little bit different. You have an email that I can find? Yeah, thejiminishow@gmail.com. Been looking at a Savage Axis XP and 30-06. Okay, get it. and they can't get a CCL. That's not true. I know a felon that has a CCL. When you apply for your rights back and you get your rights to own a firearm, you can get a CCW. If you have the right to own a firearm, you can get a CCW. Not in every state, but here in the state of Virginia, I know felons that have CCWs. Which pistol at the very top? Star Wars. Got to wait until the 21st, YouTube payout. Well, I'm glad you're getting some money from YouTube, dude. If it's enough to buy a Sega 12, you're doing good. And Winchester is always looking for new shops. Yeah, I'm over by the Firestone, dude, across from the new Sheets. And no, I'm not doxing myself because my gun store is literally online. So if anybody thinks I'm doxing myself, I'm not. I'm just not saying the address out loud. So mainly because YouTube would probably think I'm trying to facilitate sales. Felonies are federal, plain and simple. Boom, boom, boom. So let's give you a state felony. Serious offenses, felonies are considered more serious than misdemeanors and all other misdemeanors. Imprisonment classification systems. Most states use a classification. States versus federal. So state and federal, the difference is that you violated a law that's only on state books. So if you live in a state where they've outlawed something, they can charge you on a state with the federal with the felony, but you're still going to come up as a felon in a background check. So even if you aren't, I'm trying to think of the right way to word this. Even if you get a state felony, which a lot of times if you got your gun rights back, you were charged both at the state and federal laws anyways. I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. Typically, a state felony is going to be something that the government allows a state to determine. Right. So state supersedes federal in that regard, but the fact is your record will always reflect a felony. Yes, it's a state felony, but to a NICS background check, it's still going to pop as a felony. So it's going to require a lot of talking. And again, like you're saying, because it's in the state that you get your rights restored in, it doesn't mean that another state's going to honor your ability to buy a firearm. Yep, Stonewall is right near me. They're the cop shop in town. I'm the little guy. I'm like a pawn shop that doesn't do pawns. It's either that or the Gerson Influencer X. The Influencer X is pretty damn solid, dude. I can't tell you you'd be wrong with either one. You're not allowed to get your get an SBR or a suppressor of your rights back. No, because SBRs, SBSs, suppressors, full autos are all federally controlled. Even if you get your rights back at a state level, federally controlled items you do not get rights for federally controlled items. You will be denied instantly. You'll just be wasting your money because you don't get a refund when you get denied. Galil was made by a man. His name isn't even Galil. His name was Shane because Russi didn't like it. It was too slow. Yeah, Balashnikov. How goes it? Pretty good, broke. Gross misdemeanors, destruction of property. Can I still pass a background check? Depends on how you were prosecuted. I mean, you have to read. I don't have the form in front of me, but it all depends. Typically, misdemeanors in general are fine unless they include drugs or domestic violence, or if you've ever had a restraining order filed against you. Yeah, I own a gun shop. Yes, law enforcement can always see the entire record, especially the feds. Exactly. So if you try to buy a gun, even if you got your state, it's only a state felony, you're always going to pop as a felon. Just airsoft, but with gunpowder? No, no. Airsoft typically can't kill you. A 22 can. Am I looking for a 30-30? I have a couple, but I'd always look at another one. What gun would you dream sent to be reviewed? If Nighthawk wanted to send me a Agent 2, I would definitely love that one. Holosun AEMS Pro 2. Shit, not Google. Oh, Holosun is going to send me a couple of optics. I got to reach back out to them. I sent them my information through their response system, so I got to see if they'll send me it. So, what's your ethnicity? I'm half Asian, half white. I also don't have a birth certificate. I'm an illegal. Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine, dude. My brain just isn't working. I remember being a kid, Grandpa's owned a mom and pop gun shop. I was so excited to shoot anything I wanted when I grew up. It really hit. The shop was meant to sell, not play. Yeah, so I don't shoot any new guns. I sometimes shoot the used guns. In fact, 90% of the guns in the store were mine anyway, so I've already shot them all. There were a lot more Chan edits. I pulled down all the guns that are for sale. The only guns up there are the guns that I've acquired through YouTube or because of YouTube, and that's all that's going to go on the wall moving forward. So I need to grow the wall again, which means I need you to like and subscribe and share and comment and do all that shit. You can send me a gun too, but 22 is tiny. Yeah, 22 is tiny, but it's a 20 round going over 1,000 feet per second, unless you're using subsonic rounds. And it's a 40 grain bullet going 1,000 feet per second. Imagine if an AR-15 had a squib load, but the bullet left the end of the barrel at 1,000 feet per second. Same thing. It's still a 22 caliber round. I know it's not 100% apples to apples, but shut up. The only thing about guns, what the frick is that thing on the top left? That is a Star Wars blaster imitation. Does that 72 caliber air gun Zeus qualify as an airsoft gun? That is a air gun. Airsoft is typically 6mm BB. It's crazy just seeing guns on display. It's fine, Jessica. I have a secured building, brick walls, bars on the windows, an attack Rottweiler. Shut up! He's fine. Yeah, Grayson, I don't care if people are attacking me in that way. I don't give a shit. I'll just ignore them. What kind of eye pro you rocking? Typically, I just wear clear ballistic lenses. I have them in the back of my truck. Am I all for airsoft? Airsoft is fun. I've got a few airsoft. I've got some pellet guns too. I've got BB and airsoft guns. Don't have the dog here. I'm making the noise. I'm from the UK, so we don't see anything like that here. Hello. Is everything all right? Dearie, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing up? Some airsoft goes 900 feet per second and still not lethal. What airsoft are you shooting? What plastic BB are you shooting that goes 900 feet per second? I'm genuinely curious. You have a 50 caliber gun? Nope, not anymore. Sold it. What's behind the slots? That is a really shitty Wheeler T-handle kit. Attack sloths. Cups. Cuppa. Hey, Roy, would you have a cuppa? I have 3 kids, and this is the only time I have to myself. Good answer, Jessica. I would have been like, hey, it's because it's the Jiminy Show and we like watching them. But that's cool. That's cool. I get it. I have a Ruger Mark III 5.5-inch bull barrel with a 2-time scope. It looks like a blaster too. Yeah, they do. What kind of time handgun? What kind of time handgun is good for a first-time user? The best thing for you to do as a first-time user is to go to a range that allows you to rent firearms, or at the very least a gun store. Pick up a lot of guns, see what feels good in your hands. If you can rent the guns and shoot them at a range, better. That way you'll know what you can comfortably shoot and hold. Wheeler makes a good inch-pound wrench. The problem is their material sucks, dude. I'm not touching anything I shouldn't be. So I've literally used these only a handful of times, and the ends of the Wheeler wrenches are all deforming. Fucking face. There you go. But yeah, look at that. From just trying to remove an optic, it completely twisted the end of these Wheelers. So I had to buy a new set. Liquid hard guns are fun. Huh? Need a new rec and muzzle device wrenches specifically for 5/8 by 40-24. I don't know, man. That's a good question. Mikoki. I want to get a Zastava arms. Don't type in all caps. What are your thoughts on them? I've never messed with one. Zastava brings in some cool stuff, and if it's a clone, if it's the M57 that was made new, they're fine. Try the inch pound. I've had mine for 5 years. Now I had to replace a bit. Nah, I'm good, man. I'm staying away from Wheeler. I spent $80 on the kit, and it worked on 4 guns. Well, their metallurgy is shit, dude. A frickin' optics should not be able to twist the end of a T-handle. My snap-ons that I sold a long time ago never had that issue, and I used to work on engines. So an optic should not be able to twist it. Have I seen the new P10C ported? I've seen pictures. I have not seen one in real life. What's your gun store name and where are you out of? I'm out of Winchester, Virginia, and it's Wind City Armory. Favorite revolver, GP100 from Ruger, followed up by the SP101. What's up? Where are the guns at? The only guns up on the wall currently are guns that have been acquired through YouTube or because of YouTube. I took down all the guns that are for sale. Hello, Hunting. Let's fix the Kel-Tec P15 and make it worth owning. What's wrong with it? Is a 900 feet per second airsoft illegal? I've never seen a 900 foot per second airsoft. You keep on typing airsoft. Airsoft refers to 6mm plastic BBs. Airsoft is literally 6 or 8mm BBs. If you're referring to a air gun or an air rifle, those shoot metal BBs, 4.5mm, or up to a pellet or a round that is up to 68 caliber. Those are 100% legal. So if it's not shooting a plastic BB, it's an air gun, not an airsoft. Completely different classifications. I already got my replacement once, Thomas. I believe you. I was practicing with my mechanic and the factory dry Loctite sucks, so I lost an optic screw. That sucks. I've never seen one. Can you link me to one that shoots a airsoft going 900 feet per second? And no air gun is illegal. My buddy Easter hunts 24. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to find this real quick. The United States has filed 3 emergency applications challenging the scope of the federal charts authority to enjoin government officials from enforcing an executive order. Traditionally, courts issued injunctions prohibiting executive officials from enforcing a challenging law or policy only against the plaintiffs in the lawsuit. The injunctions before us today reflect a more recent development. District courts asserting the power to prohibit performance policing agency to anyone. These injunctions, known as the universal injunctions, likely exceed the equitable authority that Congress has granted to federal courts. We therefore grant the governor's application to partially stay the injunctions in termed. Let's see. Anyone else with the term universal better captures. So it's recognized as an American citizen. Are you sure you sent me the right thing? This has to do with residency and nationality. It's also 119 pages. Hold on, where's the search? Where's my fucking search? Inoperable harm from a stay. Application for partial stay. Trump versus CASA. Let me see if there's a summary. So Trump versus CASA. Friday, the Supreme Court issued a 6-3 decision in Trump versus CASA, noting that universal or injunctions likely exceed the equitable authority of Congress vested in courts in the Judiciary Act of 1789. Accordingly, the courts granted. That doesn't mean that they've overturned anything. So if there's a different article that you're talking about, this is something that doesn't specifically deal with the braces, my guy. They're just saying that executive orders cannot be overturned or upheld. Yeah, but it doesn't. It actually grants him a stay, and it doesn't overturn them. It doesn't state that any decisions currently in place are overwritten. All that does is explains their decision, and the fact that that it doesn't mean that every bill, ruling, and law enacted or injunction enacted is void and vacated. It just means that it's for moving forward. How can I get rid of the excess muzzle fit? Change the recoil spring? Possibly, but if you go with the lighter one, you're going to get more recoil. You go with the heavier one, it's going to snappy. You get log rolling that way? Well, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, so the main objective is to explain how the court eliminates universal or nationwide injection and sketch out the path forward to litigants seeking relief that protects all those who might be affected by an unlawful government action. But I would be remiss if I didn't zoom out at least briefly to the larger debate about the role of the federal judiciary in our separation of powers framework. Justice Barrett's majority opinion and Justice Jackson's solo dissent present stark visions. Their disagreements are lengthy and impassioned rebuttals from both justices. Justice Jackson spent some 20 pages articulating her vision, and Justice Barrett dedicates 4 or so pages on the majority opinion in response. Today's ruling is surreptitiously stymies the judiciary's core duty to protect and defend constitutional rights. It does this indirectly by preventing lower courts from telling the executive that it has to stop engaging in conduct that violates the Constitution. Instead, now a court's power to prevent constitutional violation comes with an asterisk. A court can make the executive cease its unconstitutional conduct. So this has to do with executive orders because Trump went on a 90-day, every day, here's a new goddamn order. So that could affect things moving forward, but it doesn't affect things that have already happened. So, yeah, again, and that's why I'm trying to be the voice of hesitance here, Mittens, because if everybody started saying the same thing, and I'm not blaming you for saying it the way you did, but if everybody starts saying the exact same thing you did, it's going to create a situation where everybody believes that braces are going to become illegal again, and it's going to cause a problem. The entire argument of that entire thing was, do lower judiciary courts have the right to overturn and file injunctions against what they consider unlawful acts? And they're trying to say that no, they don't. But again, a new ruling does not instantly void old rulings. So I get where you're coming from, and I appreciate that you're very adamant about protecting our 2A rights, but just got to make sure we get as many facts as we can. Hello, Mason. $1,200 for an XD45, 365. Hell no. Why'd the price go up, dude? Oh, with a 365, then it gets better. Yeah, do me a favor, ASW. Don't offer people things for any sort of money on my channel. You can ask somebody for their email and shit. I acquired a 1911 compact 45 ACP. Also came with a 9mm barrel as well. I think the ejector, extractor, and what else should be verified for correct function to do the switch of calibers. You usually you shouldn't be going from 45 to 9. because the casing diameter is much larger on a 45 than it is on a 9. There's no guarantee it's going to work. What's a pistol brace? If you've ever seen a rifle with a stock, well, an AR pistol usually has a brace, which is a piece of rubber that has a band that can wrap around your arm, thus making it easier for one-handed operation of the firearm. It is not considered a stock because it was not initially designed to be shouldered. But the ATF did relent at one point and say it's okay to shoulder them. This was back in 2018. And then in 2022, 2023, they lost their friggin' minds and tried to say they were illegal. Favorite gun that I have? Probably my Para-Ordnance Black Ops in 1911. Did the HPA and other thing get taken off the bill? Are they trying to pass? I have not followed. I will check it out at some other point. What's the Han Solo pistol? It's a Ruger Mark IV with the chassis kit. It was originally 600 FPS, but he customized the barrel and cylinder. He changed the spring into the spring that you can find it in toy bikes. Oh, so somebody manufactured a airsoft gun to go 900 feet. That's not... Even at 900 feet per second, it's not illegal. It doesn't use gunpowder. But somebody building something at home does not count. Not saying they will be illegal again, just saying what the opinion of the ATF could flip again. Sorry if I caused confusion. No, I get it, dude. You've been around for a long time. That's why I asked you to find me that, just so I could go through it myself. Because, trust me, if it was going to even be anything on the horizon of them being illegal again, everybody on YouTube would have put up a video on it. But like I said, I just like to be a little bit of hesitation. What's up with your wall? I took down all the guns that are for sale. The only guns that are going on my wall moving forward are guns that I've acquired through YouTube, for YouTube, by YouTube, either through manufacturers sending them to me, you guys donating the money for me to buy them, or if you guys want to donate guns to the actual case. Braces are bad, but rifle conversion for a Glock is okay. As long as you put a 16-inch barrel in it. That's the fucked up thing about the ATF, dude. It makes no sense, David. So you can take an AR-15 pistol, turn it into a rifle, and then turn it back into a pistol. But you cannot take an AR rifle and turn it into an AR pistol, even though they use the same lower, upper, and everything. It's ridiculous. No, I don't do shout-outs. So you're saying that I can make a musket right now and it will still be legal? As long as it's black powder, 100%. Okay, interesting, KK. Yeah, I'm going to get that a lot, but I kind of want to do it this way. I also want to get people coming in going, what the hell happened to all his guns? So, like, when you guys want to help me out, let me know. Hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, interacting, watching the long-form videos, all that will help me get money for the channel without actually having to come off your pockets, and that's what I'm looking for. Your gun store just texted you and asked if you were okay. That's too funny. What do you think about other states doing open carry? Virginia has open carry. Open carry, if you're on the job, is fine. But open carrying in public, just because you have the right to open carry, is absolutely stupid. Open carrying a firearm because you want everybody to know that you're armed either means you live in a really shitty area or you're really that narcissistic about your abilities. You have a pistol with 16-inch barrel and turn it into a 7-inch barrel and back again, but rifle barrels are heavily regulated. Yep, exactly. I never have the balls to show my face in my guns and videos. I don't even like showing my face. That's all right, Rusty. I'll do it for you. Don't like or sub. It's literally free to support your favorite creators. You know, some people just don't get that, Mr. Grow. Open carry is stupid, in my opinion. Open carry loses. Well, I'm absolutely fine. If I'm concealed carrying and you're open carrying and I don't know who you are, I'm 100% fine with that. Because guess what? You're going to give me the time to draw my gun because you're the first target. What happens if you put smokeless powder in a musket? It'll go off. It just won't have the same power. Played hooky from work today and just saw how to drain your dragon with Miss. Please retype that. Please change that. How to drain your dragon is a completely different subject matter, which is only available on Pornhub, which I don't get here in Virginia. Carry open Sumley, mostly concealed. In Florida, you have to conceal, but Maine, Vermont, Mass, you have to. Long time no here. Hello. Oh God, Lamau. Yeah, you guys get it. VPN. Yeah, I'm signing up with NordVPN to become an affiliate. So pretty soon, I'm going to be begging you guys to get a NordVPN account. I'm all for open carry, but if you want to be tactical, you should conceal it even if it's covered with the shirt. So I'm not for open carry in any reason, unless you're doing it on the job. To me, if you carry a gun, you're a weak coward. Cool. When you're laying on the ground bleeding with 8 holes in you, let me know how you feel then. I thought smokeless powder was more powerful. Yeah, but it needs to be contained. I thought smokeless powder, when it's fired outside of a casing, is just a fizzle pop. I might be wrong, but I thought that's how it was. I might be wrong, though. I might be 100% backwards. I've seen people put black powder into standard modern cartridges, but I thought that smokeless powder, unless it's contained, doesn't. Lol, autocorrect. Lol. Yeah, if you have the ability to conceal, always conceal. My parents don't even ask me anymore. If I'm out in public with them in the state of Virginia, I have a gun on me. Do I have an M1 carbine? No, sold mine. Do spoons make people fat like the way guns kill people? Pretty much, Paul. You got it right there. Also, cars cause all the drunks to kill people. Is 45 sufficient for woods carry? For smaller animals, yes. For bear, no. I live in Florida. It's concealed carry only unless you're fishing, hunting, or camping. Yep. Do you have a Remington? Couple of them will powder for reloading go bad. It can deteriorate. One of the best ways to test is to weigh your powder. If you've never used the powder, you have a sealed can of powder and you weigh it and it doesn't weigh correctly, then there's probably some issues. If it's too heavy, the powder might have gotten damp and wet. If it's too light, that means it's deteriorated. You're right. I thought putting smokeless powder like in muscle could crack a barrel. Gotcha. It's not contained enough. Yeah, I guess if you pack it really tight or if you put something in front of it like a big wad. But you can't punch a bullet, so I conceal it. People bitch about me carrying guns. Sorry you feel that way, but I've been robbed at gunpoint and almost shot in the face, so I prefer to conceal. I'm 100% there with you, dude. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Didn't they change open carry to 14 rounds? No, 21. They haven't changed that aspect. Unless you have a concealed carry, you're limited to 20 rounds in the firearm. That's cool that you have that in Arkansas, but the problem is without a permit, constitutional carry is great if you're staying in the state. But I live near West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Ohio. I have a lot of states that are around me. Granted, only 2 of those actually recognize my concealed carry, but if I only had constitutional carry, I couldn't carry in any of those states, period. Where do all the firearms in the back go? I put up the ones that are for sale, and the ones that are on the wall are only my YouTube guns. Those are guns I've gotten from YouTube this year. You have a CCW for Florida, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, and a lot of places actually honor your Florida CCW. Here in Virginia, we do. Bought an AK a few months ago before they banned the sale of rifles in the state. Yeah, that sucks. Open carry can also tempt people to steal your firearms. Yes, and a lot of the fools I see open carrying are using like Serpa drop leg holsters or shitty Blackhawk holsters, and they cut off the strap that's supposed to retain the firearm. So, you're not from droves of those Culpeper deer. Luckily, I've only hit 1 deer, and it was a Winchester deer. I'm going to Ohio on the 9th. Sweet! Have a good drive. 38 states? Cool. I wish there was that many that honored Virginia. There aren't. I think it's like 29 or something. I have a 1911. It's a 9mm. Nice. What's your favorite car? I'm not saying because you want to do an edit. Are simple gun mechanics less likely to jam? Yes. But there is a point of diminishing returns because simple and cheap can lead to functionality problems. Simple and expensive will probably run fine. Safari Land 7360. There you go. They don't see, won't know. Yep. Oh, chat next time. I hope everyone has a great night. You too, Mitten. I'm from Texas, and they allow open carry. Yeah, a lot of states do. It's something like 30-something states now. But that's the thing, though, Brandon. Open carry in your state, and open carry in another state doesn't always cross over. Although if that state has open carry, I'm thinking of constitutional carry, excuse me. Are Walmart pew-pews reliable? Well, you can only buy long guns from Walmart, and they're usually the same brand that you get everywhere else. They're not like Walmart manufactured, although their scopes are shit. I have a VPN and forgot sends me to other states. Interesting. What's your next gun purchase? No gun purchases in the works right now. I'm working on my business. Went in last month or the last couple of months, thought 25 grand would get me through. It won't, so I'm functioning and focusing on my store this month, and at the end of the month, I'm getting another loan. Gun store for 25 grand was a pipe fucking dream, especially since I put about 80 grand of my own guns in here. Fucking mouth. Work correctly, please. So how many of you have liked the video and haven't signed up as a subscription, please? As soon as AR ban is lifted, I'm buying a Black Rain Ordnance. I just want one. Yeah, I missed mine. I sold mine to Stone. I gave him a hell of a deal on it. Had a Rise Armament trigger in it, and a really nice gun. Texas Gal, what is uppy, young lady? I can't remember. Are you a girl or are you on your daughter's account? Who banned ARs? Illinois! Illinois filled with stupid people. Here in Illinois, we like to take away the rights of the people. Damn it! I hate when stuff goes through my account and I'm not paying attention. Tuesday and Wednesday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. $100? Nobody's got $100. Oh, jeez. That's so mad. Sorry. 100% girl. Awesome. Why Americans don't give guns for free? Because this is America. Nothing's free. Hey, I'm not stupid. I live in Illinois. And my dad had an AR, so now it makes me wonder where he got it. They were grandfathered in. If he owned it before the ban, he can still own it. Hey, can you... Hey, can you... You have no... What? The fuck? What happened to the wall? Why is it empty? I probably should have made a shorts video and published that because more people would have seen it. I took down all the guns that are for sale. The only guns on the wall are guns I've acquired through YouTube means, either from people, money I've earned from people subscribing, liking, commenting, or from companies sending me guns. For the rest of the year, that's all that's going up on the wall. So yes, it's going to look a little bit bare unless people want to help me out. I subscribe. Thank you. No point in carrying rip rounds or fragmentating rounds because we look like evil killers if we have to use them in a defensive situation. Yes, anything that creates a gruesome wound channel can be possibly used against you. If it's a clean shoot, they're not going to go that far. But, of course, being the internet, we only hear about the terrible cases. What's y'all's most hated race? The Indy 500. Fucking square circle. ARs are grandfathered for ones that were already here. Yep. Do you have any West German 6226s? No. Engineer says, I got it. Thanks. You're going to get an Altor. Am I going to get an Altor? I'm down. Wait, did I get a comment removed? You might have. I wasn't paying attention, but if somebody removed your comment, they did. Do you know if Rock Island makes a staccato clone similar to Max? No, they don't. The only double stacks that Rock Island makes are all the para-ordnance bodied based ones, so they do not make one like the Mac. Can't they still have Mini 14s and Mini 30s in those godforsaken places? Not sure. Justin stepping in for DB. Tommy boy, thanks for all the great advice. Thank you for the donation, brother. It's going to go towards another gun. Actually, I can do a 30-second review because there's not that many up there. Alpha Foxtrot, 4.2 comped. I'll do it in 12 minutes, so if you guys stay around another 12 minutes and watch. Edward, what's up? Advraj. Education can make you above Advraj. Nice. Jimenez is a shit brand of guns, aren't they? Yeah, Jimenez is known as Saturday Night Special. So Jennings went out of business, sold to Jimenez. Jimenez went out of business because they went bankrupt and got charged, and now they're back. So they still make guns. I'm putting money in my Cash App tomorrow for the Altor. Just message me, man. You're hilarious. I love you. There will be an altar on that wall in the future. Justin, I'm pretty much just ignoring all that shit. So I want to kind of build up a little bit more people in here. So just kind of leave some of the trolls. I'll take them out. Jake, I'm all right. How are you? Do you like Colt Pythons? Not for what they charge. For $700, sure. Not for $1,500. You want to scare them? Then just time them out. Unfortunately, for every 60 seconds, 1 million minutes of YouTube gets watched. So there are that many idiots. Haven't even shot one. What, the Altor? I've heard they're interesting. So the fact that you're making me shoot one is interesting. I'm going to hip fire it from 25 yards just for you. Everyone needs the thumbs up. Facts. Pythons are too much. Yeah, a Ruger GP100 has a better trigger, shoots 357 Magnum, is available in the same number of lengths. So just in general, I would take a Ruger GP100 and spend the extra $700 on ammo. What do you think about Canics, sir? I'm sorry about the trolls. That usually how it goes. Yeah, pretty much, man. Canics I like. Canics were originally Walther P99 clones. I have one of the first ones. And they've kind of elevated themselves with guns like the Rival, the Meta, and the Rival S series. I really do like them. Have I seen the new season of Squid Games? I've never watched the first one, and I have no intention to. Colt is too expensive for what you get. Agreed. Palmetto State 1911, first concealed carry. Palmetto State makes a 1911? Since when? Dum-dum-dum. I'm going to do this for 9 minutes. Oh, are they having Rock Island? Gotcha. Rock Island used to make Charles Daly's guns, and now they're made by fucking Chiappa, so don't buy a Charles Daly 1911 unless you want to waste your money. Also, don't buy one from Taylor's & Company, because it's also made by Chiappa, because those are Charles Daly guns. You participate in marijuana? No, I'd probably be a little bit weirdo if cannabis worked on me. Cannabis has no effect on me. Opioids don't work on me. Fentanyl does nothing. Morphine does nothing. I am what is referred to as non-reactive to opioids and cannabis and THC and antibiotics and love. Nice. What's the best pump action 12 bore? You mean 12 gauge? I would say like a Mossberg 500 or a Benelli Supernova. I convinced me. Chiapas is a POS deal. I miss my Nebula. Is your kid typing for you? Justin's kid. Kick him in the knee. Boom, 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 boom. The eyes don't lie. Dude, this is me stone cold sober. What you're seeing is a man who suffers pain chronically, and by the end of the night, I'm in so much pain that it hurts. So, sorry. This isn't high, this is pain. Yo, what's up? If everyone asking you questions paid you what they pay their therapist, that wall would be full. Dude, if every one of my subscribers gave me $1 a month, I'd have a Lamborghini every other week. No, I've never had my concealed carry license revoked. That's an interesting thing. I would seek out legal representation because the FBI has nothing to do with the granting of a concealed carry permit. So that doesn't sound right. I would call a lawyer. Thoughts on HK556? Because the FBI only handles federal cases and CCWs are state. What's the most fun target to shoot at? Apples, cans, pumpkins, steel targets for me, and then stuffed animals. No, I don't think permafrost is Andrew. The new SIG 380, your thoughts? Local police is half FBI and got revoked. All right, permafrost is gone. We don't need people that can't tell the truth. Have a good one, Perma. Sorry, if you come into the channel and you're telling me I look like Sid the Sloth, that's one thing because I kind of do. But if you want to come in and just spout stupid shit, go away. I carry, but no one knows. Good. That's the way it should be. Concealed carry, the first word of that is concealed. Unless you're pocket carrying or prison pocket. Are you required to have a license in your state? To own a firearm? No. To conceal it? Yes. ZPAP 85 has to be the best 5.56 AK out there. Never shot a ZPAP 85. It'd be interesting. Maybe I should get one. You want to send one to the channel? I take all abandoned firearms. If you're looking through your safe and you have a gun that you haven't shot in a long time and you'd like to see it on the internet forever, send it into the Yemeni show. Why did you go full screen, bitch? I think my mouse is finally dying. It's just a cheap-ass Logitech. What gun is top right? If you're referring to the rifle, it is a M1A. If you're referring to the handgun, that is a Fusion Firearms. I'll show them all in a minute or two. In 5 minutes, I'm going to do a wall review. Since there's only, 10 guns up there, 10 firearms. Did you steal all my guns? I wish. Pack them up, send them here. Do you like Kel-Tecs? Like Kel-Tec PLR 16 if you ever shot one? Yeah, I used to have a PLR and the SLRs. Ruger Deerfield, never heard of it? Not surprised. No, I've never heard of it, but I'm sure it's real. You don't look like a sloth. Steve Buscemi looks like a sloth. It appears they are all lost in a boating accident or something. If they happen to land in Virginia Beach, just let me know the last known location of the boat, and I'll go down there. Janito! Hell yeah, brother, I sub. Thank you, sir. Clayton says, hey. Gladwin! What's the most reliable handgun ever? It's called a Rock. Curious, Bob Dylan fan? Nah, not really. Didn't listen to him much. What's your carry choice? 1911, full size, single stack. Bang, bang! Low to topper flood. You talking about my brain? Because some days it tapers off drastically. Are you for real? Yeah, I really don't listen. I'm 45, not 70. What the Sigma? You can Ligma. No. You really carry a 1911? Yeah, 5-inch, full size, dude. What is this, 1950? I carry a pair of Ordnance Black Ops 1911, so it's more like 1997. Yeah, grab the camera, grab the camera, grab the camera. I'm glad they fixed the fucking problem we had last fucking live stream. Whoa, Chonito! Sorry about that. Sorry. That was a mistake. It double-clicked. You should not be banned anymore. You should be fine. Sorry, I accidentally banned you. I was born when you were 27. Shut up, I might be your dad. Sorry, Chonito. I was trying to get rid of Blake, and it actually got you. How often do you practice from concealment? Every time I go to the range. Bolt, what's up? What are you? I am a meat popsicle. I meant no offense. I like 1911s. It's fine, Chinito. No, I'm good with my 1911. It's the first gun I ever fired. I'm very accurate with 1911s. With my nerve damage, having a very simple trigger mechanism helps me, and I just seem to handle the recoil very well. Ryan, what's up? Is that a Ruger? Yes, it's a Mark IV target. Meat popsicle, what the frick? Have you never seen The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis and my, at the time, future ex-girlfriend, Mila Jovovich? How far should I throw my Ruger? 20 to 30 yards. I'm old enough that I have to do math every time I get asked my age. I'm old enough that when I start to say 19, they just tell me to stop and let me in everywhere. Notifications didn't work. They almost never do. Why single stack? The thinness of it, the ability to carry it easily. Also, because a traditional 1911 is single stack. And finally, because most self-defense shootings are 3 to 5 rounds, and I carry 17 in total. So if I can't get it done with 17 rounds, you deserve whatever you can get off my corpse. No, but I will now thank you for the recommendation. Yes, watch it. It's a great movie, dude. It was Luc Besson is the director. He actually cameos in it. It's a great freaking movie. It's got Chris Tucker, Gary Oldman, Mila Jovovich, all the fun stuff. Yep, we're gonna do the walkthrough right now, Steven. I'm 2007. See, you got a 2 in yours. So I was born last century, son. I was born a century ago. He was foreshadowing all the rappers to come with the Diddy disciple. Yeah, that's true. You seen the new 6 Hour stuff? If you're talking about the 211, yes. Have I ever shot a Para Ordnance 1911? Are they any good? Yes. In fact, Chinito, the Black Ops 1911 that I was telling you I carry is a Para Ordnance. 84 immigrations, more least than somebody, huge supporter of a 2A. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. Beautiful guns. Yeah, they won't get me, but you'd be surprised how many illegals. So this is the wall. YouTube guns. Moving forward, there will only be guns that have been provided by money acquired through YouTube. I need to put more of my 1911s and 2011s back up. I did it really quickly today, and some of them are in the safe and will never come back out. But let's start over here. That is the TAC 79 37mm grenade launcher that I got from Exotic Ammo. I still need to take it out and shoot it because I don't have a place to shoot it, but I will be shooting that. I've got concussive, flashbangs and parties. That is a Buddy's M1A. We did a rear sight or front sight relocation in order to add the muzzle device for his suppressor, and it runs a really nice Leupold scope, not one of those cheapy ass Walmart versions. Down here we have the Daria Arms DY9. It's a Glock clone that is Gen 3 lower, Gen 4 and 5 upper. Really nice. That's the box from my Dan Wesson. Has an Aimwin, which is a pretty nice optic. It's kind of like a 507C style kind of clone, and a light on it. That is the TSOS Duty BR9 with the bull barrel. So that is the Gen 2. You can see it's been fired, so it's got a little bit of barrel stuff. I thought I cleaned it, but maybe I didn't. Fusion Firearms XP Pro. Go back to the scope. I'm not sure what it is, but it works really good. I bore-sighted it. If I were selling a gun and have boxes of unopened ammo, could I get money for those too? Yes, you can, but not everybody will really give you a lot because it has to be sold as used. Yes, I am giving TSOS a second chance, and so far they are impressing me. So I'm going to point out something. If you look here at the serial, where is it? The serial number for that gun. You see how that serial number is number 797? Well, that gun was created in 2024, and the first 1,000 guns are not forged. They're actually cut from billet steel. So I'm now telling you what I was informed by TSOS. I was right in my video when I said it was not a forged gun. This gun is not forged. It is cut from a single piece of billet, and that billet had flaws in it. Since then, they have gone to full forging, and that gun is fully forged, and it runs like it. So the Fusion Firearms, that's got a beautiful trigger in it. This is the gun that takes Glock mags, so I can't wait to shoot that tomorrow. This is also Fusion Firearms. It's the XF Pro. You can see it's got the rainbow barrel. I won't be shooting it with the suppressor. I just put the suppressor on it for tonight's video. I'll be using the stock barrels tomorrow, including the fluted and ported barrel. My least favorite manufacturer is tied between Glock and Chiappa. So this is the Ruger Mark IV Target Star Wars Blaster. It's modeled after the Mandalorian. Up here we have the Rock Island 5.0. This is the square barrel gun. Uses what's called the RVS system. The lockup is actually here at the front of the barrel, not up at the hood or anything. It's actually under the front of the barrel. Glock is overrated. Yes, it is. This is the Dan Wesson DWX. So Alex, the guy that did that gun, you can see he did most of the distressing on this gun. However, I dialed back the rusting he did on it, so it's much more minimal. I want it to look like the gun was kind of neglected, but still very functional, which it is. And then I distressed the trigger as well today, so it's got kind of a distressed look to it. I'm probably going to distress those grips too. Glock hater. I'm not a Glock hater. I'm a well, fuck it. I hate Glock, even though I have a Glock tattoo. I fucking hate Glock because all they are is good marketing. And of course, the TSOS Night Stalker. Yeah, I thought it came out really well. So that's the Siley imitation SRO, and it's got the same size window. So we'll see how that runs. And that is a Surefire X300 on it. Considering a 10mm Glock, but I'm not super happy with the feel of them. Check out the M&P 10 2.0s. Glock has a reliability and not changing 100%. So I've said this a dozen times, a billion times, a million times in virtually every live I've ever done. If you're not a gun enthusiast, if you literally only want a gun for home protection, self-protection, you're not going to buy a bunch of guns, you're not going to be an enthusiast, get a Glock. You like to have some weight? Yep. You like the BR9, who makes that? TSOS, SDS Arms. What caliber I think is the most versatile in application? In terms of pistol caliber, 9mm, 100%. In terms of rifle caliber, 5.56, 223, maybe. You should wear down the Night Stalker. I have not officially taken that back from Stone. I might, though. Thank you for showing the guns. No problem. Is it a good gun? So far, yeah. I've put 200 rounds through it, several different brands of mag, or several different types of mags, and it seems to run everything, and several different types of ammo. It seems to run everything. Absolutely hate Glock, and I'm proud of it. Nice. That's why you customize it. I customize all my guns. Stipple handles, no stock upper. And I'd be right there with you, Jared, if they weren't $400 to $600 guns. If they were $300 guns, I've said this a ton of times. If Glock sold every model for $300, $350 for the optics cuts, no complaints ever. But because they charge a premium, they're pulling the Apple game. They do the exact same thing as everybody else, but they charge a little more because they feel a little bit better. And in my opinion, they actually don't. Favorite piston of all time, looking mine, is that Ruger up there with that scope? No, mine is just the standard 1911 bodies. I always watching from the Windy City and appreciate your knowledge. No problem. No problem, shy till I die. Glock should be cheaper. Yep. What's everyone up to? I hope everyone's doing well. Absolutely. They do look cheap. I mean, the materials they're made out of will definitely stand the test of time up to a certain point. But once those guns get to the same age as a 1911, once they start getting to that 105, 110 year range, that polymer is not going to be solid anymore. What's the most expensive pistol you have? Right now, it would probably be my STI Grandmaster. My STI Grandmaster, if I were to sell it, would be about a $5,000 gun. But you pay U.S. prices for Turkish imports. I don't pay shit for my Turkish imports. They give them to me. What's up, Bruce? Why do police choose Glock as their most common sidearm? Because Glock sells Glocks to the police for $300 fucking dollars. The Blue Line program allows cops to buy Glock 17s and Glock 19s for $339. Yeah, don't type in all caps. Any other hobbies? I like computers. I'm going to start working on my tech channel. I keep saying that all the time, but I'm going to, for real. So this is my personal computer. Custom water cooled, built. Yeah, so I kind of do it up a little bit. I've got a ton of stuff that I could be building with. So used to live by Pulaski. What's your favorite type of shotgun? Semi-auto is always my favorite. Banner, you got to buy me some guns. Why were thoughts on the three guys kicked out? So as Johnny B was saying, woke culture got them, which is partially true. They said that, now I'm only relaying what his video says. He says that they said it was because of some memes that he had posted and things he had done before. The Attorney General from Missouri also got kicked out, as did Legally Armed America. I'm going to wait until I hear everybody's story, but the fact of the matter is they shouldn't have kicked them out. Does PC give off a lot of heat? Current PC definitely feels like a hot box considering water cooling. Well, actually, because it's water cooled, it can give off more heat because the radiator is radiating. I have 2 full-size radiators, and they vent multiple ways, and I don't run a side panel, and I'm running a 4070 Ti, so when all this shit is cooking, it's pumping out a lot of heat. Do the majority of defensive police department use defensive or ball? They use hollow points. What happened to all your guns? I took down all the guns that are for sale. The only guns on the wall are guns I've acquired through YouTube, because of YouTube, or with the money I've earned through YouTube. Florida police are getting staccatos. A lot of departments. Texas runs staccatos, some California ones. Water cooled is the way to go. To a point, dude. If you're not going to overclock the computer, though, honestly, get an all-in-one that's already built. Mine is a custom loop. It's not worth it. Like my pump, my res, my 2 radiators, all the fans, all the hardware. It's got nearly $800 in gear just to water cool it. Spend $150, get a Kraken X73, and be done with it. Thoughts on the SIG 320 debacle? If everybody would take the time to read what's actually happening with the debacle, they wouldn't call it a debacle. It affects guns built before 2021. Yes, there are a lot of guns in service, but if you buy a new 320, you will not be affected by it. The biggest problem that is a debacle is the way they handle the situation. Yes, they are firing uncommanded because of their design flaws, but they also are fixing any guns that get sent in. So it's not a debacle, it's just a big oopsie that they fucked up handling. You're gonna unsub and resub. I just don't think they send notifications, man. Fucking YouTube, man. Girls do not respect Glock guys at all. Must be why my girl likes me. Suppose if it's not worth it, but it sure does look cool. Yeah, no, it's fun. Also, honestly, they're like some of the like Dark Rock air coolers and the Noctua air coolers will cool a computer just as well. Mine's overclocked to the hilt. It's a 12900K. It's overclocked. It's running at 5.4 gigahertz all the time on all cores. So it needs the extra water cooling. But honestly, no. Like, I don't even water cool my graphics card because I like changing my graphics card a lot. I'm only water cooling. I have a 420 mil and a 360 mil radiator and a full reservoir to water cool a 12900K. It's massive overkill. Yeah, you might be shadow banned. No, I'm not shadow banned. I'm getting a lot of views and a lot of subs. They just don't push my notifications at all. Yeah, Sig, pardon the pun, king of karate, lookout man, is yeah, they shot themselves in the foot. Pun intended. Hope it worked now. I hope so too. Thoughts on the Smith & Wesson response? It doesn't feel really quality. It's a $600 gun. 17 HMR, never really shot much. Dagger on the wall? Nope, that is a Daria Arms, American made, kind of like PSA, and it's a little bit better quality in my opinion. I do like my 34 Gen 3. They're fine. What do I think about 40 short and weak? That should tell you. It's a caliber I didn't really get into when I started shooting, so it's not really on my radar. I've only been shooting for 8 years. So for those of you that wonder how long I've been doing it, and technically not even 8 years. I started in October of 2017, and we're now in July of 2018 or 2020. Holy shit, 2025. So technically, I've only been doing this for about 7.5 years. Dads, what's up? So I paid for someone's groceries at Dollar General. It was like $12. The card wasn't working. They handed me a $50 bill. I'm going to make bad financial decisions. Well, yeah, you're trying to get me an Altor. I love my micro dagger and full-size dagger. There you go. Honest opinions on a high 0.9 millimeter, but it's the best way to get it run smoothly 100% of the time. You're not going to because of the inherent design of the gun is flawed. You can get some reliability by keeping it well lubricated and using only factory mags, but you're never going to get one to run 100%. Only asking because I was interested, but never owned a 40, so stick to 9mm. Yes, 9mm technology has come far enough to where 40 cal and 9mm are basically the same round. I know they're not the same weights. Nobody freaking get on my shit for that. But a 9mm will do everything a 40 can. Thoughts on Daniel Defense versus Bravo Company? I like Bravo Company better. Is 6 Hour still bad? I've been keeping up with the news. Too busy working like crazy. They're not bad. They just didn't handle the 320 uncommanded discharge right. So everything except the 320 is definitely on the menu. You know what I'm saying? I'm so jealous that Freedom Do you guys had my country. We need proof of necessity to bought guns, and we just had 380 SAP. Where are you at, brother? Put it in the bin. We don't call them bins here. You're obviously not American, motherfather! Unless it's a recycle bin. If you don't reload and you want to shoot distance, 6.5. Spent a bag on a Mark 18 today and some extras. Nice! Been buying and shooting since 18 years old. Long arms, 21 years. Short arms, lol. Yeah. Thank you for answering my question. No problem, gorillas. Someone's in Tennessee. I use the OEM High Point 10-pound mags. How much should I load them up to? The 10 rounders, download them at least one. I cannot get a straight answer from the internet. Has CZ discontinued the 07? Yes, the 07 is discontinued. The 07 has become the P09C. What's a really nice 308 rifle? That depends on what you're trying to do with it. If you want something in a semi-auto, I'd go with a Ruger SFAR over like a Diamondback DB10 or any of the other ones. Bolt action, tons of different options. Remingtons, you can get Savage Axis and 308s. You can get a lot of different ones. Best state besides Texas. Technically, according to the internet, Wyoming. What would you do if you had a high point and wanted it to run good? Just make sure it's maintained, dude. I bought the 380 Glock 25. It's just because it's kind of unique, but I have never shot it. Favorite brand for holster? Don't have one, pizza. I just buy whatever's on sale. Should you always underload your mags one bullet? If you're having feeding issues, why not? Otherwise, you can stretch the springs in the magazine, but I don't recommend disassembling a high point magazine because there's no guarantee it's not going to break. What kind of AR should I buy in California? One that comes with a bus ticket out of California. Piston ARs. Thoughts? They're interesting. Technically, they supposedly run cleaner. I've never... actually, that's a lie. I had one a long-ass time ago, but I sold it. Looking for a new barrel for my Tokarev 12 gauge on SDS website. Can only find heat shields. You think calling would get me anywhere? No, because Tokarev is out of business. Excuse me. Kalashnikov USA. Excuse me. Calling them is probably not going to get you anywhere, though. Maybe. Try them. Let me know what you do. I have the high point 9mm. I want to know how to make it. Dude, Josh, we've told you what you can do. There's not much you can do to a high point, dude. Keep it well lubricated and clean. That's about all you can do. There's nothing you can really do to them because they don't take gunsmithing well. The minute you mess with the material they're made out of, you can lighten the slide too much and then they'll crack, or you can damage the slide and they'll crack. They're made out of zinc, dude. They're not made to be long-term firearms. They're made to be emergency situation. God damn it. Right in the center of my back. Just want to share with you guys. I bought a Norinco, put an all light on it, and all sight. Norinco did a double stack? I saw that Para Ordnance was also out of business. Do you know anything about that? Yeah, so Para Ordnance started in Canada. They started a U.S. branch in 2012. Freedom Group, who also owned Remington and I think a couple other companies at that time, purchased Para Ordnance. In 2016, they killed Para Ordnance because the Para Ordnance Expert was the exact same gun that they were selling as the Remington R1 Enhanced. And they killed Para Ordnance because Para Ordnances were $700 and the Remington was $1,000. In fact, if you can find 2016, 2017 Remington R1 Enhanced guns and you look at the rear LPA sight, they will literally say Para Ordnance on the rear sight. See the shadow behind you, left 2 side from bottom. No. That is a Dan Wesson DWX. Similar look. AR-10 or AR-15 for just one do-it-all gun. Ever since 300 Blackout came out, AR-15 will definitely suit you. You clean your guns? Yes. Typically, I clean them after every range trip, but you can go, depending on the gun, thousands of rounds without cleaning them. You were making chicky nuggies. No problem, Grayson. It's a better reason to buy one. Is that a better reason to buy one for $750, or am I getting taxed? You talking about the para ordinances? Para ordinances have gone up in price since they went out of business. So if it's a clean one, $750 is fair for a para ordinance. My Black Ops 1911, I paid $700 for it, and it's worth about $14. Zombie Apocalypse, which one pistol, which? 45 ACP, because I'm doming myself and becoming a zombie. Actually, if I dome myself, I don't even become a zombie, so I'm just doming myself. What's your opinion on Palmetto State arms for fun Glock alternatives? They're interesting, and if you work on guns and you know how to test a gun and make sure it's reliable, PSA daggers are fine. If you don't, then you could run into quality control issues. Is an optic worth it on my first gun? It's going to get you into the habit of single sight acquisition. So iron sights require the front and rear sights. Red dots require one point of acquisition. I would suggest that you run iron sights first, train with iron sights, and then transition to red dots. It will give you a much better ease of use. Plus, if you're good with irons, then you'll learn point shooting and better fundamentals. Is Taurus G2S good? Not really. It's not that much thinner than a G2C, man. Just get a G2C. Best entry-level 1911 in your opinion? So if we're talking budget-wise, probably a Rock Island. You can get fiber optic sights, LPA sights, all that stuff. Skeletonized adjustable triggers in the 500s. But when you start stepping up a little bit money, go into like a Springfield Garrison, $750, or Fusion Firearms 1911 at about $900. Those things are great. You said high points don't take gunsmiths good. What about removing the safety? What safety? The minute you modify a high point, something's gonna go wrong. They're not worth messing with, Josh. Honestly, they're really not. Uzi says, thanks. Where are your guns at? The only guns up on the wall are guns that are not for sale. Those are my YouTube 2025 guns. So any gun that I've acquired in 2025 will go on that wall, and we'll do that all year round for the rest of the year and see how full we can get the wall. And in 2026, we'll restart the wall. So subscribing, liking the channel, leaving a comment, interacting, all that shit will allow me to get more money, which will allow me to get more guns, or if you want to donate a gun. But if you want to help the channel grow, just like and subscribe, and then I'll buy more guns. Used Glock for $340. Yep. Do you recommend removing manual safeties? No. Josh, I appreciate that you're trying to do something with your high point, but it's a high point, dude. Just give up. Is the Springfield Ronin a value at this point? Not really. It's still kind of just eh. I'd rather have a Garrison over a Ronin. Do you have any suppressors? There's literally one on the wall, bud. If you're asking about in my store, no, I don't have my Class 3 yet. Just curious, say today they make it legally. Air rifle barrel lengths had to be minimum 17. What happened to everyone who already owned a 16-inch barrel? So if it's anything like when they tried to pass the brace law, they would allow some things to either be grandfathered or they'd allow you to get licenses for free. If it's like Illinois where they got rid of rifles, semi-automatic rifles, they'd be grandfathered in, things like that. There's different options. And then there's usually, let's say, like with the brace rule, they instituted the brace rule. You had 180 days to register. During that period, they were able to get the injunction filed. So there's lots of ways around stupid shit. But air guns will never be, I understand you're just saying it for the question, but yeah. 19 is worse than 1911 because everyone here is talking about them. So, Joshua, the way I put it, dude, for a first-time buyer that's only looking for one gun, you're not an enthusiast, you're not really looking to become an enthusiast, you might become an enthusiast later, great. Get a Glock, they're fine, they run, they're reliable, they'll shoot anything, but they're boring as shit. Yeah, ATF, leave my air rifles alone. Don't worry, they do. The guy asking about piston ARs are really only good if you're running a can. Yeah, but now with adjustable bolts, like Butler makes an adjustable bolt carrier group, so even the pistons aren't even being that good of a difference. Kablamo! What is up, dude? Did you get banned again? What do you mean by boring? They have no design iteration. They haven't really improved them over the years. They all look exactly the same. They're designed to run by having very loose tolerances. You can see through the slide of it. The mechanical engineering required to make a Glock function is so minimal. That's why there are so many clones of a gun. They don't just clone a gun because it's easy to clone it or because the gun is reliable. They clone a gun because it's cheap to clone it. 1911s are expensive because they're hard to copy. Glocks are easy to copy, so everybody that makes one can sell them for $300. They're just boring ass guns. They haven't done anything in 45 years that is even remotely freaking intuitive. Yeah, you got banned again. Stop it! Bootleg. Did I say Butler? I always keep calling them Butler. It's bootleg. Glock has the most aftermarket support, at least. I don't know. 1911 is pretty damn solid, man. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff for Glocks, but you gotta fucking spend $1,000 to make a $400 gun. The only part of Glock that's perfection is the fact that they use John Moses Browning short-action tilting locking system. Do you have a Glock 26? King Von used to use it. No, Glock 26s are for stupid people that don't have taste. 1911 is the most copied gun there is. United States gun, yes, but outside of the United States, CZ75 is probably more copied than the 1911. If you're 22, our Valkortsen rifle prices are worth it. If you're a 22 guy, our Volkortsen rifle price is worth it. I'm going to say you have to be very dedicated. You have to be the kind of guy that'll spend $800 on an Anschutz rifle, the one that has the weight rail in it. If you're that dedicated, yes. Hello. Hey, Luke. Hey, I'm back. I can't stay, though. No problem. Do you own a Smith & Wesson 500? No, but I do own a 460 XVR, which uses the exact same frame. What happened to your wall? I took off all the guns that are for sale. The only guns up there are guns I've acquired in 2025 because of YouTube. Every year I'm going to restart the wall. So the more you guys like, subscribe, comment, and donate, I'll get more guns. Is a 1911 at all more practical? No, it's not, because it's more of a pain in the ass to field strip, clean, and maintain, but it's a better gun. FN Reflex, what do you think about it? I'm not a fan of any of the FN line right now, but it does the job. You like Glock 40, Glock 45? No, I don't like any Glocks. 90% of guns are sold in the U.S. Ha! Me sitting here with my MAP 9, which is practically a CZ. Pretty much, that's what I'm saying. I lost all my guns in a boating accident. I keep losing all my boats and gunning accidents. Every time I go on the lake, somebody's boat keeps shooting my guns. All Gore vids are trash 1911 copies. What? Did I tell you one of my channels got monetized? No, I did not know that. Which one? Do you have a Desert Eagle? Not anymore. If I sent you a Nerf gun, would you put it on the wall? No, but I would put it on display with the sloths. The only thing that goes up on the wall are real ones. You sold your FNX 40. Huh. If I damage the choke threads on a shotgun, can a gunsmith realign them? They can re-tap them. They're just threads. They might be tapped larger, so you might have to go with a different manufacturer's choke, because not all chokes are the same. They might have to find a choke that will replace it. Is the Walther PDP a Glock clone? No. The Walther PDP is their own design. It uses the safe action trigger. The PDP is a completely different setup. Way much better than a Glock, 100%. Oh, Alchemist. Isn't that the one that keeps on getting hit? What's FN's problem in your opinion? Their materials, their frames. They're made out of squishy, shitty PETG basically now. They suck. Yeah, 15. Can I show you a bullet? Sure. That one's empty. Yeah, that one's empty. All my mags are empty. Oh, here's one. There's a 9mm. Oh my God, I love you even though you banned my last account. I don't know why, but you know better than guns, you better judge me. I didn't ban your last account, Luke. I don't know who keeps on banning you. Just be careful what you're saying. Any opinion on the ARX-01? Yes, I got one. I like it. I forgot to put it up there. That is one that you guys paid for. Technically, Untitled Goose paid for that one. I lost all my boats in gunning accidents. Made me rolling on the floor. Yeah, thank you. PDP versus Echelon. Thoughts? PDP for the trigger, Echelon for the Sharps Brothers frame. I would not pay $1,500, $1,600 for a PDP steel. Home Invader comes in. What gun you grabbing? Usually the 1911 in front of me or the shotgun that's always loaded. Now I can tell my friends my PDP is better than a Glock. If they argue with them, punch them. Just got yours today. Nice. What happened to the full wall of straps? Did you sell some? No. The wall has been changed. The wall is now only guns that have been acquired via YouTube. So either through you guys donating, you guys liking, commenting, subscribing, or manufacturers sending me guns. Every year I'm going to restart the wall. So those are the 2025 guns so far. There are 4 that I need to put back up. So there will be like 12 or 15 guns up there. So... Luke, you're not banned, Luke. Best self-defense 10 millimeter available on average. I don't know. $2,000 for your emissary. I don't have the emissary anymore, bro. I just found all the hoops the feds have to jump through when going off of a serial number. Yeah? I was told 20 gauge over 12 gauge for self-defense. I mean, it's a lighter load, but you can still have over penetration if you're using slugs. I know they're better as PCCs. Okay. Did you see the Kentucky Ballistics video where you can clearly see the frame on his FN break? Yeah, he was shooting the FN 510 and it snapped just in front. Well, the trigger guard snapped off and the entire rail section snapped off. The gun still ran because the locking block didn't break out of it. But I've heard stories and I've read some Reddit accounts that the FDE bodies, the FDE process for FN is creating weaker polymers. Even the standard black polymer is super thin and you can squeeze them really, you can squeeze them a lot. Supposedly it's supposed to give you more cushioning when you're shooting them, but I don't trust them. Keltec, 22 mag pistol, 30 rounds, flush mag, 50 with extended mag. You're talking about the PMR 30. Yes, I like those. I don't get how the PDP goes from 650 to 1500 for steel because they market it as a pure competition gun. It's the same way a Beretta. The 92 Performance is 1500, but a 92S is 7. Do you carry a pistol in public? You'll never know unless you draw on me. The wall is going to be like when everyone's asking what the lever action is in the box. Yep, pretty much, Tommy, but I'm fine with it. The more you guys donate and subscribe and like and shit. So the first person to donate a gun, which should be Grayson, gets a signed autographed nothing. I've subscribed. Good night. All right, Dave, thank you. I thought maybe I'd just give them your name and when you bought it, but they have to track it all the way back from the manufacturer, distributor, gun shop person who bought it. You're talking about a trace? Yeah, it gets very involved. Not a fun thing to have to go with. I will agree there. Kentucky Ballistics has a giant T-Rex head, and it's the best thing I've seen all week. Yeah, he's one of those guys who's gotten huge because of what he does, and now he can't do stupid shit like he used to. Silly things, small things. It's the reason Demo Ranch quit. He was out of stuff to do. You're a lucky person. Our Indian government does not allow this type of gun. Only Dream Knights. Sorry, TRC. Get a 500 Bushwhacker, ride the lightning. I'm good. Please stream Counter-Strike. I don't stream any gaming. I could. Computer's good enough, but... What's the most you should pay for an AR-15 5.56 upper? I'd say quality starts at about $275. I'm just kidding. Probably like a BCM, $300 to $400 to start, and I wouldn't pay much more than like $1,000. Like the one on my AR is $1,500. I don't think it's worth that much, but it's got a lot of custom milling on it. Come on, give it up. Tell us the gun is on the way. What's the thoughts on the whole T-Rex situation? I haven't heard your thoughts on it. Based on Luke's video that he did, it sucks the situation he got put into. I wish that they had solved it in his favor, but he's starting a new company, he said, so good for him, and I hope his shit does well. I think it's stupid to be fighting with family, and that's why I probably wouldn't really go into business with family. You give me an Altor, and I'll give you my Grandmaster. You got it. How come you put the shitty finish on the Dan Wesson? Because Dan Wesson put a shitty finish on the Dan Wesson. Dan Wesson put such a shitty finish on it, I scratched it with my fingernail. What happened with T-Rex? His brothers drove him out, basically. They treated him like shit, and one of their employees sent naked pickies to his wife. Kentucky Ballistics bullied out Matt. Sure. Is that a sci-fi blaster, Jimmy? No, it's a Ruger Mark IV, but it's a Mandalorian Star Wars blaster clone. How come you put the shitty finish Dan Wesson on the wall? Oh, you're asking why it's up there. Because that's a 2025 acquisition using money I've earned from YouTube. And it's a $2,000 gun with $600 in accessories on it, so it's a nearly $2,600 fucking shitty finished gun. Thanks, Dan Wesson, you fucks. Do I own an M4A1? No, because M4A1 isn't real. It's just a continuation of names. M is a designation reserved for military pistols. The M9A3 should not exist, nor should the M9A4. I'm not paying $1,000 for a threaded barrel Beretta. Nighthawk, what do you want to put on the wall next to? I haven't decided yet. Credible comes in and gifts some more gift memberships. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see. Broke Boy got one. Cody got one. That's always interesting. Woody got one. Justin finally got one. Look at the people getting some goddamn freaking things. 33 got one. You're a Bot got one. Corn Pop got one. What country makes the best gun? America. I need to get my dad an AR for his birthday. He's turning pretty boomerish. Last night he wouldn't stop talking about stopping power. Oh yeah, ARs weighs as much as 10 bags of grocery shoppings, as that one California, that little old lady senator or whatever she was. Damn. I'm burping up pizza rolls. Merca. So we're only going till 11 tonight, so make sure you get questions in. I started at 8. We go 3 hours. I want to get some sleep before I go to the range. Staccato overshadows Nighthawk because Staccato is a mass-produced gun that's easy to acquire. Nighthawks are hand-built, hand-assembled, hand-fit by one person. There is absolutely no reason to buy a Staccato, though. They are mass-produced and sold at a premium. They are the definition of overpriced. You can build a good AR-50 for $400 to $500. Yeah, that's true. You have a revolver? Yes, I've got a few of them. Is an FNP 90 worth it? Not really, because you can't get a full auto one unless you have special licenses, and semi-auto ones have shit triggers. MCX rifle, never shot one. Best 5.7 handgun in your opinion? It's probably going to be, in my opinion, the best 5.7 handguns are the original 5.7. It's just too expensive. And then probably the Smith & Wesson 5.7. Put some goddamn pizza rolls in the oven. I ate all mine. Go to sleep. I will in an hour. Is that a Staccato? If not, if so, I'm thinking about buying one. No, you will never see another Staccato on this wall. Staccatos are overpriced trash. Okay, they're not overpriced trash. They're just overpriced. They are mass-produced guns being sold at a premium price. Are bull barrels worth the hype on a 1911? They do aid in accuracy, and it eliminates one extra point of failure, so yes. And it doesn't cost any more to make one. Is there any other starter brand that's not Glock that you recommend for a second or third gun? Smith & Wesson M&P, Canik Meta Series, Walther PDP Series, believe it or not, SIG 226, 229s, a lot of the Gerson guns, yeah. I hear you, Labria. I go to bed after 3 hours. I just look tired because I'm in a lot of pain. What way did you say the Rock Islands are similar to para-ordnance? The double-stack 1911s made by Rock Island are literally built on para-ordnance tooling. So they are literally para-ordnance guns. So any of the high capacity 1911 HC, so they're 10 mil, 40 cal, 9 mil, 45. They're all built based on para ordnance tooling. Chicken Nuggies is gone. You're stum. Will there ever be a Glock on the wall? Not unless you guys want to pay for it. You guys want to pay for it? I have a Gen 4 Glock 17 that I picked up. If you guys want to donate $350, I will take it out of my store and put it up on the wall. What's the best first handgun I should buy? No Glock. Smith & Wesson, M&P, and don't type in all caps. Yeah, the 10 moving box woman with the Queen Amidala haircut was from Texas. Gotcha. Thank you, Chaos. Best Austrian gun manufacturer is Steyr. I do like Steyr. It's actually probably pronounced something like Steyr. Steyr. Nighthawk Gun Wizard has my attention. I love Nighthawk. Should an MCX have a cookie cutter muzzle? Sure. Kind of thinking of a Legion. I would. I want the X5 226. Well, since you're the only streamer I watch, I figured to share the news recently. I got approved 2 days ago for adoption. I'm adopting my past brother's children. Bless you, dude. Absolutely. That is amazing. And I fucking salute you for doing that. That's amazing, man. Sorry your brother passed, but I hope the children have a good home. You have a 226 Allegiant and absolutely love it. Nice. 226s are awesome, but I want the X5 Classic because I like the stainless body over that green shit. Who are the koalas? They're not koalas, they are sloths. They were donated by my parents. They're actually World Wildlife Foundation sponsor stuffed animals. My parents sponsored 2 three-toed sloths. At one time, I used to have three toes. Doesn't Rock Island make a 5.7 pistol? No, they make a, excuse me, they make 22 TCM, which is a, they might make a gun now, but I don't recall one, but they make the 22 TCM, which is a 9mm neck down to 22. Should Glock make metal frame, and would that make them better? No, it wouldn't make them better, and they'll never do it anyways. You had a few Glocks on the wall last time I watched. Yes, those guns are for sale. All the guns that are for sale are no longer going to be on my wall. The wall is only for YouTube-acquired guns in 2025. Buddy wants me to buy his Ruger for 5.7, but I think it's too much. What do you think? I mean, a new one is about 600, so if it's in immaculate condition and he gives you some spare mags, maybe. 450 is not a price I would buy one for. I would rather buy a PSA Rock for 450 because you can get the RK1, which would be the optics cut with threaded barrel for 450. If I picked up the Mandalorian guns, would the stream end? If I picked up one of the 3D printed guns, the stream would end. Yes, Haywood, they have repaired the problem. It only affects guns built before 2021. And I'm going to give you a quick tip on how to avoid any issues with the 320. Don't buy a base one. Don't buy an M17, M18, or the base 320. Anyone with a curved trigger is susceptible to uncommanded discharges. Is that a Fusion on the wall? Both of them are. So you've got the Fusion Firearms XP Pro, which is the 2011, and then you have the Fusion Firearms XF Pro, which uses 4 Glock-compatible parts. If you ever get a VR, you should play Onward. I have a VR sitting on my chair behind the computer. They do have been getting it finalized for their rooms and meeting their adoption agencies. Prerequisites, he passes from lung cancer being somebody with a foster system. I'm just happy they won't go through. Absolutely, dude. That's amazing. Everybody, W in the chat for TM. He donated freaking memberships and he's picking up kids. Just be careful, because I know how tempting those watch for children signs are. Don't trade them for watches, no matter how good the watches are. Have I ever had an accidental discharge? No, but I've had a negligent discharge. Is 2011 worth the money? What's your opinion? You can get them. I mean, the Fusion Firearms is like $1,100 and it uses Glock mags, sure. Why would the stream end? So terms of service on YouTube via Google is you cannot touch, transport, demonstrate, or hold a firearm on live stream. They will end the live stream because in 2019, a young distressed man shot himself in the face with a shotgun on a live. Favorite hobby outside the world of firearms? Electronics, computers, video games. Like just this last week, I picked up an old NES that works, a PS5, an Xbox One, a bunch of shit. $50 if you want to see my hairline. Jasper, what is up? Picking up the kids, lol. Thank you all. Yep, absolutely, dude. Holy crap, did the guy with the shotgun survive? No. Unfortunately, he killed himself on a live stream. And then the live stream didn't end for 40 minutes. because the cops ended the live stream when they finally figured out who he was and where he was. Most expensive handgun you have. So I don't pay retail for any of my guns. So the most expensive gun I have in terms of retail or resale would be my STI Grandmaster at about $5K. Do NDs count when it was a blank gun? Yes, they do. I will say that they do, because if you set one off and it wasn't a fault of the ammunition or the gun failing, then you did something to set it off. So it still counts, yes. What's a Huzz? No, I do not have a World War II firearms collection. I do not collect firearms that are antiques. Do not type in all caps, but thank you, Ghost. You get special deals on your guns. Some of them, some guns are sent to me free of charge in order to do reviews on. Some of them I have to send back. Some of them I can buy at discounted prices. And I own a gun store, so I get to buy at distributor prices. Mouse, hey, a Grandmaster, you got to look it up. It's back before Staccato was a piece of shit company. They used to make really nice race guns. It's got a 6-inch barrel. It's chambered in 38 Super. It's really cool. It's what 2011 started to be. You're funny, Grayson. It's all yours, man. $3,900. I'll ship it out. Give you $1,000 off. Let me know if my Gerson MC 1911C carry 10 millimeters of POS or not. It is not. Gerson eliminated MIM parts when they came out with the Elite line and the Match lines. I have their Match X Influencer and their MC14 BDA, and they are trying to get me one of their new Elites. So I think they're very solid. They're not Nighthawk Customs. They're not going to have the same quality as like a Wilson Combat. But for the money, hell, dude, I'd rock one all day. I used to carry the Influencer X till I modified it. You should start getting World War II for the store. Hey, I've got a Mosin and Gaunt, goddammit. Also, I'm broke. Where did I get an M1 Garand? It's not an M1 Garand, it's an M1A. And it is a friend of mine's. I did some work on it. Carter say a lot of people say it different things. In my old middle school, it was like you got your crush on your date. You got your crush to date you. Oh, well, next time just say it that way, man, because I'm 45. I don't understand leet speak. Is a full auto worth it? No. Not unless you become an FFL and get your class 3 like I'm doing, because then I can buy a full auto Glock 18. Oh, if I was 21. Dude, I'll just sell it to your dad. He can gift it to you. Don't give him the money. He's going to gift you the gun. Tell your dad to pay me. Don't give him any money. That becomes a straw purchase. Definition of straw purchase. If you pay somebody for something because you can't get it, that's a straw purchase. But if your dad buys the gun from me and you just happen to use it, what happened to your STI race gun? I had to borrow against it because my store needed money. Have you ever shot a 50 cal? Yes. What pistol is that with the fat suppressor? That is the Fusion Firearms XF Pro. Oh, it was just one of the only guns I had with a threaded barrel, and I wanted to throw a suppressor up there. Worked at an outdoor range for 2 years. Imagine seeing minimum 5 people a day putting their ears on, pistol in hand. Oh, the cringe. Oh, you mean like they're freaking doing that? I've seen that so many times. Yep. Ruger makes a pretty cool 45 carbine. Yes, the LC carbine. Yep. I wish Joe had a Garand. I wish somebody would give me a grand. You hawked the STI. Yeah, I had to, dude. I have to go one more month. I have to get through July because Virginia, you're in finance. Virginia is what's called a full disclosure state. So I had to provide a certain number of months of bank statements, and I need one more month. I love the sloth. Thank you, Jasper. Fusion Fire Gun. Look up. Where's all your guns? The only guns on the wall are 2025 YouTube guns. If somebody's arrested for domestic violence but never charged, can he or she still be buy a gun? If you're arrested for it, how are you not charged? Was there not a police report filed? It gets iffy. Depending on how it was transpired, if you pleaded out or got the charges dropped, it gets complicated. 7.62 by 41. Jesus, I've never even heard of that. Thoughts on PSA PA-15? Are they okay for the price? As long as you understand guns and you can test it yourself. I say this about all Palmetto State. Their quality control is slightly lacking, so make sure you test fire the gun, check it out, lube it, make sure that it was assembled correctly, then it'll be fine. Looks like something out of COD. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? 9 millimeters. Jasper says no problem. Yep. Are those airsoft guns? Nope. Should try to get in Arasaka. I've had them. I've never heard of 338 Arcade. You might have to be convicted of a felony to not own a gun. So, so depending on what happened, like if you plead down, things like that, conviction of a felony is absolutely disqualification from owning a gun. But it also says, are you under indictment, or are you currently being charged? And then there's all kinds of stupid ass rules. So just be careful. Oh, 338 ARC. I've still never heard of that. You had it a Valkyrie Dynamics muzzle brake and had one failure to chamber in the Gershon. Would that mean I need a lighter recoil spring or heavier? Depends on what the failure was. If the round jammed going up, then you need a lighter one because the slide didn't go back far enough. If the round just kind of jams up into the front of the feed ramp, then you might need a heavier one. Did they give you a decent amount of loan for the SCI? No, I didn't borrow a lot, so it's very easy to get it back. I only borrow enough to get things done. You know what I mean? So I have a Canik Whiteout Signature Series. Do you think they'll ever be worth anything? Not really, because the number you just typed in there, 7,500, 750. You got to be a Canik guy to spend the money on Canik pistols. Do you like the gun laws in your state? I wish we had private sales back. It would make trading guns a lot easier. But other than that, they're not terrible. Do you think AR-15 is overrated? No, AR-15s are great. Let's see. Iraq, they do a lot of those. Yeah. And they do like 3 or 4 special editions a year. You hear about California banning Glocks. Certain Glocks, yes, they are. And it doesn't matter to me because I don't live in a communist country. What if you're a felon after you own a gun? It was a long arm. How would they know you had one? I'm just curious about how that works. Trust me, they would check. If you, one of the questions they ask you is if you are currently in possession of firearms. Also, if you're convicted of a felony, you're probably doing time. Yeah, we all live in America. America is wunderbar. We live in America, yes. What's the cheapest AR you'd recommend? Diamondback or Radical? They're in about the $500 range to start. Where are you from? My mama's vagina. Also Virginia. Hit the like button, motherfathers. I need to get my money up so I can replenish the wall. The wall got taken out by COD players. They were all like, I'm going on this zombie map and I need your shit. And I was like, what's a zombie map? And then they called me a boomer. DB has gotten better. Yep, they have. Am I of Asian descent? Yes, I'm half Korean. So I was arrested but not charged. My lawyer said I can still own guns unless I get charged. I live in California. Well, California just sucks in general, so. 357 says they use weed for medical use and got guns. Okay. I don't think marijuana should be regulated. It should be perfectly fine. It should be like alcohol. Who gives a shit? Dude, let if stuff gets rocky so I can help. Like I said, my main thing is I got to get through this month. So that's all that matters. And then there's still no guarantee I'll get the loan, but at least I'll have a much better chance. Thoughts on Chicago? It's a fun city to drive through really fast when I'm visiting family in Minnesota. Denver has been turned into a trash can. It's been going that way for decades, my friend. But yes, it has. My family is here, so it's hard to move to Texas. It's not that hard, dude. It really isn't that hard. I decided to move from Minnesota to Virginia in 3 days. Have I seen the Ross Martin guns? Yes, I have. Any cravings for vintage revolvers ever? Not really, dude. Swing out cylinders are a must for me on revolvers. I hate single action like Colts and stuff. What made you leave Minnesota? the opportunity to live in a better climate and get away from my own family. So I have the opposite problem that King does. Do you believe owning guns is a right or a privilege? I believe it should be a right until you prove that you're too stupid to own a gun. So I don't think there should be any regulations or restrictions on owning firearms. I think your actions as an individual should determine your ability to own a firearm. If you prove that you are untrustworthy with a gun, or you're pulling it out at intersections because a guy doesn't go after the light turns green for 2 seconds, maybe you shouldn't own a gun. But I don't think it should impact my ability to own a gun because I'm not a fuckwit, you know? So I don't think there should be any restrictions. How much to move to California? $250,000 a week. Man, if you still lived in Minnesota, we could have gone to my range. It's a little north in Illinois. Yeah, that's about a 9-hour drive. I'm good. Ruger RXM versus Glock. I'll take the Ruger because they have the removable fire control group. I moved back to Denver, home after the Marine Corps. In those 16 years, the cycle blasted through a theater of people. Crime exploded. Illegals. Yeah. Have you got your hands on Ruger Security 9 yet? Yeah, a long time ago. They're fine. What age should kids get educated on guns? I got a 6-month-old. That's a little too early, 357. But what I think is when your child has the ability to identify right from wrong, like they know not to stick their fingers in a goddamn light socket and they know to leave knives alone, you should start introducing them to firearms. Go, this is a gun. It's not going to hurt you as long as you respect it. You shouldn't be playing with them. They're not special. You know, teach them to respect the firearm. And then eventually you want them to learn to shoot it. That way they can respect what they're capable of doing. So you think it should be infringed on sometimes? It should be infringed on a person-by-person basis. If you're a fuckwit and you kill somebody with a gun, I don't want you to keep having guns. It's not an infringement, it's a punishment. You stab people, they take away your freedom. You shoot somebody, they should take away your ability to have a gun. That's not an infringement. If you believe punishment's an infringement, then you have bigger problems than I thought. Not saying you do, but I'm saying if you believe that being penalized for doing illegal things is an infringement, then there's bigger problems at play. Guile, what's up? Demon King is sniper is a position in the military, not a gun. Yeah, technically, yeah. Who's the most hypocritical gun tuber? Such 00, bro. It don't even take me long to say that one. The fact that even false allegations can take the right away, even temporarily, is crazy. Like in my case, yeah. But like I said, you said you got a lawyer. Just keep working it, dude. My friends would hate you so much with the Glock talk. Honestly, I recommend Glocks. I own Glocks. I sell Glocks. I think it's funnier getting a rise out of people by saying how much I hate Glocks. I got you guys to give me $3,000 to get a tattoo of a Glock that I don't even look at anymore. So, can't have guns in jail, so after they serve their jail time, should they get their rights back? Depending on what they did, Clip. If you murdered somebody with a gun, fuck no. You shouldn't be able to have a gun back if you used a gun to commit a violent crime. You shoot a kid, should I give you a gun back? If you robbed a bank, no. If you commit a violent crime with a firearm, you've proven that you're not safe with a firearm, and you're just not supposed to have a firearm. That's, again, not infringing on your rights. It's you proving through your actions, not you personally, but that's proof through action that you shouldn't own a firearm. A lot of stuff you say, I don't know how that's even an opinion. Sounds like common sense to me. It has to be said as my opinion, otherwise people take it wrong. Unless you're an FFL, yep, Glock blocker. Yeah, I'll Glock your block. You have the right to say whatever you want about Glocks if you own one. Yep. Felony, no. Misdemeanor, yes. Well, you can get charged with a felony for stealing money from a company, or if it goes over a certain dollar amount. So again, case by case. What about self-defense shooting? Sometimes that gets iffy. If it was a valid shoot, you shouldn't have a felony. If you get convicted of it and you get released, but there hasn't been any form of documentation or you haven't proved beyond a reasonable doubt that you were justified, you probably don't deserve the gun. I don't think so. I don't have any more, but I love that gun. I really liked how it saved me. Okay, gotcha. I carried my Glock 26 today. Even if it's a misdemeanor, if it's domestic violence, it takes away the rights. permanently if convicted. Yes, you can also lose your rights if you've had a restraining order filed against you. What do I like more, traditional or tactical stocks? Tacticals. I like polymer. I like AR style stocks like on the PCCs and stuff. I have a permit. I get it. I'm just messing with you. Thoughts on Glock 27? It was the third gun I ever owned. It was a stupid decision. Small frame 40 cals are just kind of a dying breed. They're not my style. And again, I'm not a Glock guy. I don't like Glocks. Glocks are trash in my opinion. Sometimes think about how much more important it is to have a gun. It's not important to have a gun. It's good to have a gun. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. But I've also run into a lot of people that tell me stupid shit that make me want them not to have a gun, such as, man, that guy at the car wash cut me off. If I had a gun, I'd have shot him. You probably shouldn't have a gun then. No experience with an RPK. A restraining order is it can lose or will lose rights. If a restraining order was filed against you and a judge signed the document, automatically you lose your rights to own a firearm. You've been deemed a viable, dangerous, harmful, potentially life-ending threat to somebody. They take your rights away. Facts, I miss the kind now. I have Glocks with no safeties. Yeah. My favorite deer rifle is a 22 with the cast iron stock. Lol. Yo, got my account back. Observer, what's up, dude? I think somebody's been stealing from your wall. Nope. Only guns that I've acquired through YouTube and that are YouTube reviews and stuff like that are going on the wall. So anything that's for sale is no longer going up on the wall. Should have kept it. 3rd gen OD Green Glock 23. What are you? I'm a meat popsicle. You can go to jail. Would you go to jail if you're using a gun in self-defense and you kill somebody? Not if it's a justifiable shooting. If you shoot somebody in the back 14 times because they're running away and you claim that it was self-defense, you're probably going to jail. But if you have an actual case where somebody threatens or attempts to take your life and you take their life in response, you should be found not guilty. Get yourself a good lawyer. Don't get carry insurance. It's the stupidest shit you can waste your money on. Get a lawyer. Find out who the 2A lawyers are in your area and get their numbers and maybe introduce yourself. Say, hey, I deal with guns a lot or whatever. Do you have retainers and shit? I have a heavy-barreled 223 Bushmaster with a detachable upper. It's a great rifle. Nice. Is that a short Osprey can or just the angle? It's the angle. It's a full-size Osprey 9 2.0. So you're a law tuber tonight? Nope. I am not giving legal advice. I'm telling you common sense advice. And I'm telling you that carry insurance is stupid and not worth it. So USCCA, if you watch gun channels, you'll see them pop up. They call themselves carry insurance. Supposedly, if you're involved in a shooting, they'll pay for a lawyer. They'll pay your bail and they'll represent you. But they've proven time and time again that they won't. If they think they'll lose the case, they'll try to get you a lawyer who will make you take a plea. A actual lawyer in your jurisdiction will be much better because it's probably the same fucking lawyer that USCCA is going to send out to you anyway. So, yeah, just get a real lawyer. If you go outside armed to stop somebody from stealing your car and then the person, you're going to prison. Yeah, somebody stealing your property versus stealing your life is two separate things. Does 300 Whisper and 300 Black shoot from different chambers? Not sure. I've never heard of 300 Whisper. Sorry. Car is an extension of your home, castle doctrine. Only if you're in it at the time, Captain Hindsight. You can't walk up to somebody stealing your car and shoot them. You can detain them for breaking into your car, but you can't just shoot somebody. I spend a lot of time learning the law because I own an FFL and I get asked these questions. There is no state in which you can walk up to somebody breaking into your car and shoot them. You cannot justifiably shoot somebody who is not presenting a viable threat to you. If you shoot somebody who is breaking into your car, you can defend property. I tell you what, Hindsight, do it and let me know how that works out for you. A house is not a car. What if your car is fully restored classic Shelby? It doesn't matter. Yeah, the Gerson's still around. That's allowed in Texas at night. No, see, Captain, what you're doing is starting to disseminate bad information as well. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do this because you're also spreading misinformation. You just told somebody to shoot somebody breaking into a car, even though the case that you're stating had to do with the house. Completely different. So we are not going to go there. You think 44 mag will become hard to find? No, not really. A lot of lever guns and revolvers shoot it, so they'll still be doing it. Hit a dude and a guy for breaking into his detached garage prison for sure. Got to think about how a hurry it'll be if you can't protect your family. So, again, if it's a clean, justifiable shoot, you should be fine. You get a good lawyer, you should be fine. But again, unless the person perpetrating the crime presents a real present threat against you, yourself, or somebody that you are with, you should not be shooting an unarmed suspect. Do Smith & Wessons have the biggest handgun? No, not to be contrarian, but what if you're living in your car and somebody's carjacking you? If you are inside the vehicle at the time and you fear for your life, that is different from coming out of your home, your protected environment, leaving your protected environment, and then killing somebody for breaking into your car is different from if you are living in your car. Never trained with Jaeger. Well, I traded for a Bushmaster. Nice. Guys get in a defensive position, have the gun, and call the police. You can go outside and I don't care. Texas, you have to have permission from your neighbor, and my neighbors all have an agreement. There you go. Thieves also carry guns while stealing. Meanwhile, besides calling, what do you do besides say stop it? You can go out armed. You can present the firearm. You can detain somebody for breaking the law, breaking into your car. But unless they are a clear and present, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not. Is the Escort Bull Tac 12 gauge a decent pump shotgun? No. We are off the subject. I like how people that are internet warriors are arguing with somebody that deals with the fucking ATF every fucking day. So, we're done with that argument. Are you able to see a red dot in the dark? Yes, because the dot reflects off the lens. There's a home invasion in your home and you're alone. Do you wait in a room for them to come inside or do you sweep your house? That is a personal decision. But again, if somebody breaks into your home and you fear for your life, you do what you got to do. What's the smallest caliber you feel is viable for home defense? For self-defense, some people argue against 380. You can use 22, man. Just shot placement counts. Some of these dudes are on their way to prison. Yeah. Any of the guns that you're talking about, Mahir, is fine. I don't give recommendations, my guy. You got to see what fits best for you. If you like one over the other in your hand, the 1911 will be the thinnest. The 2011 CZ75 and M92 are all going to be about the same width. I got a Ruger Blackhawk 357 for my birthday. Fun. Nice. What kind of phaser gun is your favorite? New Star Trek or old Star Trek? Old Star Trek. Or Star Trek Kelvin timeline, because they all have grips on them. Would I recommend you put a red dot on your Glock 34 or stick with the Trijicon sights? Whichever one you're better with, man. Red dots are great because they're one point of aim, but irons are fine. In my opinion, a strong point is also always the safest bet. There you go. I've never actually watched a Ron Jeremy film because there's a lot more porn that isn't that hairy. What's some quick upgrades for a GI 1911? If it has dovetailed sights, the sights. Next would be the hammer and beaver tail, because a lot of time they just have a standard grip safety, and then your trigger. Got me a Glock 43X 9mm Stormtrooper Edition. Nice! That's a damn good choice on the phaser. Thank you. How do you clean inside of glass like on a Holosun? I can't seem to get the corners. Q-tips. I use Q-tips. I met Ron Jeremy when I was in high school. I got a picture shaking his hand. You know what else has touched that hand? Do what you feel is best. He actually did a Fuda film once. Girl with a penis and a vagina. He did one. You do what you feel is best to defend yourself. Just don't do too much. Stay level-headed when defending yourself. Don't become what you're protecting yourself from. Meh. I agree. If you're on the original Star Trek and you're wearing a red shirt, better have your will and testament filled out. Or talk with a Scottish accent. No, I am Mr. Scott. I'm here to work your friggin' engines. How often do you clean your handguns? Every time I go to the range. It's cathartic for me. Is a Taurus G2 a good gun? It's a dependable gun if you treat it right. Do I need to clean and oil a new Glock before shooting? I would, because they come with a copper-based assembly lube in them. I would remove that and put in a good gun lube. I do that with every gun I buy, though. It's what everyone's told me about his hand. Lol. I got a pistol I think you'd enjoy shooting, an Automag 3. I've shot an Automag 3. There's a short on the video on the channel about that. I actually repaired one for a customer. His slide had galling in it, so I fixed it. Do you ever practice shooting with your non-dominant hand? Yes, every time I go to the range. In fact, all 3 of the new videos going up in the next month are involving left-handed shooting. Keyboard duster for lint or hair for dots, Q-tips. Yep, Q-tips, man. Got a red dot and laser both zeroed in the living room from the bedroom door. Where can I learn more about optic plate compatibility? Reddit, honestly. What is a Taurus G2 equivalent to? The G2 is kind of a Glock 26 clone with double strike capabilities. The true SIG M17s and M18s have been going off by themselves? No. Taurus jams too much to get a Glock. The 320s had uncommanded discharges, but only up until a certain year. You are not going to run into that problem if you buy a new one. If you have any questions, like if you're looking at a used one, contact SIG and they will tell you if your gun is part of it. You hit the range daily. Nope, only once a week. Any indoor ranges allow shooting from the hip? I don't know. Luckily, I use an outside one. I tried to buy a firearm 5 ago, but the DOJ denied me. I have 0 felonies, but do I have a DUI? Any suggestions of why they denied me or what I can do? DUIs can be a factor for losing your gun rights. So it all depends on what the mitigating circumstances and how you were charged and how it was filed. My suggestion to you is contact a lawyer. Because question 21 asks, are you currently or are you addicted to or using any federally controlled substance? Technically, alcohol is federally controlled, and you got a DUI while overusing and abusing a federally controlled substance. So technically, it all kind of plays into the whole thing, but get a lawyer. If there was a single vehicle DUI with no accident, you can probably get it expunged. I'm not a lawyer, though. I'm not guaranteeing you that, but get a lawyer. You need a lawyer. My Taurus G3C has never had a failure in over 3,000 rounds. Yeah. Have I ever fired a CZ52? No, not personally. What's your favorite pistol? 1911s. Do you like how fast I'm going, by the way, guys? I don't care. Gun is scary. I only love RPG. Oh, I love role-playing games. Taurus revolvers are better than semi-autos for EDC. True, but you got to be careful. Some of the older Taurus revolvers can have issues when you're trying to go fast with the trigger. You can actually lock up the cylinder. What's the wildest dump you've ever taken? What did you eat? Your mom. Can I see the Mark II? I'm playing Battlefront right now. No, it's a Mark IV. Thoughts on the judge? Judge is fine. The jury was a pain in the ass. Speed run. Lols. Shotgun versus handgun. Either one. To quote Die Hard, the punk pulled the Glock 7 on me. It's a porcelain gun made in Germany. It doesn't show up on your airport X-rays machines here, and it costs more than what you make in a month. Absolutely. Is it worth putting a sight on a shotgun? Sure. I'd put a big reflex sight, though. Thoughts on 2011s? I like them. I paired my Automag with an M1 carbine from Fulton Armory. Love that damn rifle. It's my GPR. Nice, dude. Sounds pretty cool. Nice try, Adam. What is Battlefront? It's a Star Wars game. You got a 50 cal. Not anymore. Do I own an FN Scar? Hell no. Too much money. Thoughts on Beretta 92 FS? It's a good gun. Boring, though. I mean, it's not boring, but it's uninteresting to me. It's not my style. I don't like double action, single action. I like single action. I like what I like. I know I need to broaden my horizons for you motherfuckers, but I don't want to. Luke, you have a good night. When's the last time you clapped cheeks? Dude, I nared my whole body, so when I was twerking, I was clapping my own cheeks. If you're talking about fucking somebody, when's the last time I saw your mom? She made me breakfast. Thoughts on Birdshot? And by the way, all my responses to your stupid fucking comments, people, is going to be your mom. Thoughts on Genesis 12? They're all right. Would you buy Mouse's Staccato, and for what price? I would not buy Mouse's Staccato because I wouldn't want to offend him with a price. Is Battlefront Endgame any good? It's all right. It's a Star Wars game. I don't actually like Star Wars. What's your preferred concealed carry weapon? 1911 full-size 5-inch. Thoughts on Caltech KS7 for home defense? Do it! It's good for clearing smaller areas. Do you have any purple guns? Nope. What's your thoughts on my mom? She's easy. I see where you get your name. Do you have a Glock 19? Nope. Thoughts on Canik TP9 SFX Tungsten? I have one. It's actually up front. It's technically not a YouTube gun unless you guys want to donate $300 so I can buy it for myself. My Staccato is overpriced. Yeah, I'll give you $2K right now. In regards to actions and gas systems, do you like piston-driven rifles or direct impingement? I like both, but I have more experience with direct impingement. I've got a 12-gauge, 20-inch barrel rifle with a 3-time scope and 16-inch barrel with a red dot. Nice. Is that a super based? I'm a Glock 26 man for summer, 34 for winter. Do what you got to do, man. Have I seen the double-barreled 45? Yes, they are made by Arsenal Arms. They used to be called 2011s until Staccato decided to put a stick up their Piku, and now they're called, I think, double 1911s or something stupid. Thoughts on country music? I listen to it during the winter when it's cold out, and I feel suicidal. Favorite Mario Kart character? Mario. I read number 4 Buckshot is a good choice. Absolutely. Have you tried Ukrainian alligators? Pretty accurate at 1500. Nope, I have not. I freaking love you, dude. Thank you, dude. Shotgun or handgun for home defense? Both. Why limit yourself to one? Thoughts on DS Arms, FAL, SA58 Improved Battle Series? Never touched one, dude. You look high as fuck. I'm in a lot of pain and I'm trying to read. Difference between Glock 43, 43X. The frame. The 43X has the slimline 10-round frame. The 43 is the originator with the 6 or 7 rounds. What country makes the most reliable guns? The U.S. 4K buck, 3-inch shell, 41-23 caliber pellets, nasty shite. Yay! AR or handgun for home defense? Both. Why limit yourself? I actually have a shotgun, AR, and pistol always loaded and ready to go. Best 9mm self-defense rounds. Federal HST, Federal Hydra Shock, Hornady Critical Duty, Hornady Critical Defense. Is the APX any good? I like the A1. The takedown is a little funky, but it doesn't look like a Toblerone bar. Best handgun, 1911s. Have I drank goat milk? Not unless your mom's name is Goat. Can AR-15s be utilized for home defense? Absolutely. Sorry, Rambo, that was rude. No, I've never had goat's milk. What's a good brand for ARs for defense? Diamondback Radical Firearms. If you were in Fallout, would you avoid Raiders or Fiends the most? Neither one. I'd go straight in and take them all out, because if you're the protagonist in Fallout, nothing can kill you. How often do you go to the range? Every week, Adrian goes, yeah, 1911. Airmax says, good night. Best AR-15 for under 2K. Stag Arms, FM-15, a used Daniel Defense, Sons of Liberty Guns Works, used. Yeah. I heard PMC Hollers are more like FMJs. They are not split as well, but they're effective. They mushroom, but they don't open. You know what I mean? They flatten out, but they don't split. Best gun of all time in any sense. 1911s. Thoughts on the St. Victor? They were trash when they first came out. They have greatly improved them. Fast fire, fast fire, fast fire. See what I did there? Thoughts on revolvers? I know they're outdated, but they look so cool. Yeah, they're fun to shoot. If you get one with the swing-out revolver and some speed loaders, dude, you can go to town on that. Are used guns bad? Nope. Just check them very, very carefully when you buy them. Every week, I remember the Jiminy who never got to go to the range. I'm behind the times. Yep, I'm now going every week on Tuesday. I got 3 videos stored on my phone. I got to dump them onto my computer and edit them. I did the, hey, Gun Blazing, what's up? I did the T-Sauce Double Stack 9, the Rock Island, and the Daria last week, so I got to edit those videos. What a stud! How you doing, Guns? Under 2K, holy shit, what's a good one go for? Well, mine is over 4. Do you got any collectibles? Yes. Going for my gun license in Massachusetts. What's a good EDC? Get a Glock 19. It'll save your life. It'll run. It'll shoot everything you put through it, but god damn it, they're boring. You the gorilla that punched the water boy? It's the water boy. I'm the water boy. I bring the water. 7 a.m. live stream? Sure, why not? Nope, you can only see what's on the wall. Thoughts on bows for doomsday prepping? I mean, if you've got the time, fine, but I honestly don't think they're very viable. Thoughts on bows? Yep. Cover your hand with the camera. My eyes are my camera! I don't know what I'm doing! Pointing, not touching. Good move. Yep, pretty much. Is that an Apollo? Nope, that is the Fusion Firearms XP Pro. Looks like an Apollo, though. Everyone make sure to hit the like button. Yeah, you motherfathers. Kate, I appreciate your vast knowledge. I hope you have a restful sleep. Thank you so much for your $10 donation. I don't know why I go with the Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you. But I appreciate your donation helps, and it'll go towards buying another gun for the wall. You go to a fast food restaurant just for the heck of it. Money is an issue. What are you ordering? Dude, porterhouse steak. Can you conceal carry in Georgia without a license? Yes, they have constitutional carry. Dude, is 1911 come in different caliber? Yes. 22. 357 Magnum, 357 SIG, 40 cal, 9 millimeter, 45, 10 mil, 50 GI. What else am I forgetting? 38 Super. Lots of them. Am I ready for the war? Nope. It's never going to happen here. Am I Asian? Yes. Half Korean. You seem to be in better spirits. Yeah, I've kind of changed things up, dude. I'm working on getting sponsors. I'm signing up with NordVPN, so if I'm plugging NordVPN, I want you guys to sign up. You'll get a discount, and I'll get money. I don't see why that's a big thing. That way you can watch porn in more states. I can't watch Pornhub in the state of Virginia because I don't have a VPN on. You do more accents than Kamala. Oh, thank you very much. I tried to. I sound just like her. I'm going to be the next president. I'm going to go on to the national television and do the State of the Union. Hello, my fellow Americans. Thank you so much. I am here today to tell you we are all fucked. What gun you plan to add on your wall? Don't really have one that I'm planning on, although I did ask Gerson to send me their Rainbow PVD Elite because the Brat optic isn't ready yet. River, don't type in all caps. Type it again before I answered it. SIG is not bad. Class 3 license, working on it. Bone in ribeye, 18 ounce, so tender. I don't like bones. Has it been hard getting sponsored for ads due to being a gun tuber? Yes. The only company that has officially paid me for ads was Blacksmith Safes. I've reached out to a lot of people. Xiaomi, for some reason, keeps reaching out to me, but I think it's a scam, so I'm not answering them at all. Thanks for the information, bro. Be safe and stay dangerous. You too. Can you do a Korean accent? Not really. You want to go to the Jiro? I haven't seen my own mother in 27 years, and I don't speak to Koreans a lot because Koreans are fucking assholes. Worst gun in your opinion? Chiappa and Glocks. Yo, looks like someone looted you. What happened? I took down all the guns that were for sale. This is now the 2025 gun acquisition wall. So any guns that I purchased with funds brought in via YouTube through sponsors, donations, or donated firearms will all go on the wall. If you donate a gun or pay for a gun to be on the wall, I will scribe your name into the slide with a Dremel so that your name will be forever immortalized on the wall. First full auto you want. It's a toss-up between an M16A2 or a Glock 18C. That's the only Glock I really want to get. What's Class 3 do? It allows me to own full auto guns and sell them. Are bump stocks legal? Yes. Should I fork over the bones for a CZ Shadow Tube carry or get a CZ PO1 and mod it? Get a PO1 and mod it, dude. Watch PewView. He just did a video going over guns, and he'll tell you the exact same thing. Sometimes I think what can be and can be burned by what has been. Yes, that's what I thought. Hello, my fellow Americans. I am sorry on the entire campaign trail. I know I sounded like I was from New York and, hey, buddy, fucking forget about it, right? But no, I have to use my real accent. I have been activated. I am sorry. I turned off the Star Wars laser system. Most of the middle of America is about to be bombed out. So sorry. If you survive, we will come and get you. So you can now pledge allegiance to Russia, or you can, go. So that's me as a Russian sleeper agent becoming president. Porterhouse has a bone, but I have them take it out. It does, doesn't it? New York Strip then. Fuck you. What happened to that smoking hot Asian chick? You mean with my you guys got to pay for that shit. $500. I'll wear them again for 3 hours. Can't tell, is that a Mini 14 or M1A? It's an M1A. Really? Did I get banned because of the fucking accent? Okay, just an ad. Sorry. You're missing a lot of blickies, bro. Did you get robbed? Nope, I just took down the guns that were for sale. All the guns on the wall are the 2025 acquisitions. Every year I'm going to start the wall over. I just decided that this month, so anytime anybody, I get a gun because of you guys. What's your cheapest gun that you have right now? I've got a little Derringer that I paid like $40 for. Thoughts on full auto is illegal? Yes, unless you have the correct permits and licenses. No. An 0702 is a SOT license that allows you to manufacture. The standard class 3 allows me to sell. You cannot manufacture on a standard class 3. You're missing a lot. I'm craving for a steak. Lols. I'm building a Rivian plant right now. I've never been more disappointed. I kind of want a Rivian, dude. NGL. I kind of want a Rivian. From playing with them in Forza Horizon 5 and seeing a few out and about, I'm not paying 120 grand for one, though. If I could get a Rivian for like 30 grand, I would sell one of my trucks. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's like shooting with those eyes difficult. No, it actually isn't, Sydney, because when I'm in daylight and doing an action that requires both of my eyes focused on one plane, they work together. Right now, I'm looking at a camera, looking at my screen, and I'm paying attention to everything around me at all times. My brain works that way. But when I'm shooting a gun, I dedicate it to it. So, yeah. Have you ever blown up a crate of boxed wine with Tannerite? No, my mother would kill me. They're alcoholics. Tenderloin or strip? Strip, 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 strip. Strip, 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 strip. Actually, as long as it's cooked cow, I'm good. My order's on the way. Fucking order's on the way. Oh. Finally. I see my favorite 1911 on the wall. Sold it already? No, I still got it. They're just not on the wall because they're not 2025 guns. You seem like you'd be a hell of a ball at a rave. What's the use case for full auto? Suppression or accuracy by volume. And it has no use in common civilian use, but it's fun. Spend $100 more on shotgun ammo. I just got off all my ammo and one day felt good. Nice. Sounds like you had a good day. Neither. I would not take a Glock. I would not take the FN 510. I would probably go with the Smith & Wesson M&P 10 2.0. Said hi. Hello. Favorite holster brand. I actually don't have one. I use whatever I can get cheap. Like right now I'm using an Urban Carry holster for my 1911. G-Lock. Got it. I still look the look of the Raider color specially. Yeah, maybe I'll get one and just put it on the wall just to mess with you, Kyle. Then when you come to visit me, I'll let you shoot it. What do I think of the Super Safety trigger? I think you think it's a good idea. You typed that earlier, Kevin. The problem is Jake Paul only fights washed-up has-beens. And he still has a loss under his belt. Now, I'm not going to lie. He would kick the shit out of me. Because he's healthy. I want to buy a classic Colt Detective, but people are asking too much for them. That's the way it happens, dude. I cannot look into the efficacy because I'm not a rifle round guy. I apologize, Logica Polaroid, but you'll have to look that up yourself, man. Are you an island boy? You make out with your brother? I mean, I'll make out with your mom. Hope she's hot. I mean, she's probably easy because she made you. Never ever shot a tank? Nope, but you can legally in the United States if you go to a place. You're really kind to me, brother. Keeping my promises. I'll buy that from you when I move to the U.S. side. I love you, dude. You're always a good dude. These Black Point tactical holsters for matches, and they've been absolutely phenomenal. You should check them out. So what I did was I broke a Black Hawk plastic one. I ripped out the trigger retention, and I don't use the flashlight retention. So what happens is I just put the gun in and tilt it forward, and it actually locks into the holster. Most moms on the internet are hot, so there's hope. I want the aunt from Big Hero 6. My mom is dead. Well, thanks for ruining it. Screen tip ammo, all that. I mean, it's a steel core, so it's going to over-penetrate. So, bro, what do you mean I can't even talk about tanks here in the USA? You can. Where's my 1911 gun, gopher? My mom is hot. Don't ask me why I'm saying she's hot, but she is a hot soccer mom. Everybody has an Oedipal complex. Like, I want to screw your mom. I'm just kidding. Maybe. Send me pictures. JiminyShow@gmail.com. The Jiminy Show. Tyson didn't throw one real punch that whole match. He only throws only hooks. So, the fight that Jake Paul just won with Chavez Jr., did you look at the fucking stats? It's the same thing that happened with Tyson, man. Fucking Jake Paul threw like 196 punches. Chavez threw 46 punches in the entire match. So, yeah, Jake Paul's going to win by volume. I'm Audi 5000, bro, night. All right, homie. PMC hollow point ammo as usual carry. That'll work, absolutely. No, last time I said a 1953 Cadillac hits hard and they gave me detention. Ha! $4,500 to drive and shoot a tank. Or, hear me out, give me $4,500 and I will buy a shit ton of guns and scribble people's names into the slides. That would be funny, because I could actually do that on live stream. I'm going to do that to your Altor that you send me. So I am going to literally tape up into a box so that you can't tell what it is. You're just going to see a strip of metal. And on each gun that you guys pay for, I'm going to scratch the names of who pays for it into the side. He's a pay-to-win fighter. Pretty much. I think he pays the other boxers not to punch. How's that 37mm going? Haven't shot it yet. I haven't had time to go out to West Virginia to shoot it because I'm trying to keep my company afloat because the state of Virginia sucks for getting loans. I need somebody to give me a high interest, no questions asked loan right now, 50 grand. I'll give it back to you in 28 years with 38% interest. Hopefully I'll be dead. Dude, I'll scribble it. It'll look good. You got a Shadow 920? Sorry. Have you considered working the street corner? I do that all the time, dude. That's why somebody sent me fake titties and a she-male sex doll. When you cry, when I cry, do the tears to run down your back? No, they usually run down your mommy's face, along with my cum. But I feel pretty confident carrying critical duty. Oh, I love critical duty. Best tank, your opinion. M1A1 Abrams, dude. Those fuckers fly. You ever seen them jump in a sand dune? What if Lockheed Martin made guns? Dude, I love Lockheed Martins. You know, I actually sat in an YF-12A. Now let's see how many of you know what that plane is. Do you use sex dolls? No, I use dildos, but somebody sent me a she-male sex doll as a joke, and I kept it. I can give that to you, but sadly it wouldn't be Monopoly monies and IOUs. I prefer Skittles. Your mommy's dead. Probably because she realized what kind of person you are. Go away. I love how you're serious about the fake titties and the sex doll. Dude, everybody that knows me knows I'm not lying. I've worn the titties on stream, and people that, like, Gopher will tell you. And it came pre-lubed. Is that bad? I'll give you $50K at 20% and return in 3. 3 what? You want $10,000 in interest over 3 years? Do I get early payment appreciation, or is it a penalty? You look like Sid from Ice Age with Downs. Your mom. MP5, no thank you. MP6. Put them on. The last time I wore the fake titties, you guys paid me almost $1,000, so start paying. But why? People thought it was funny. Dude, I have a box of bras and sexy underwear sitting over there that have been sent to me. I'm hoping they fit my girlfriend. Lamborghini guns, Paris Hilton guns coming in the year 2050. Yep. I've got 1,700 to my name. 1,700 more than I got. I may have like $100,000 in guns, but nobody's buying them. You ever seen the band Skittles commercials? Yep. You like the Vulcan? Yeah, those are nice. Ayo! The only one they'll fit is if they're a glove. Huh? What's on sale or closeout? Go to the website, WinCityArmory.com. I can't type it in here. Gopher, I got a Mosin Nagant. I want to see how bad you fucked up my 1911. Have you ever shopped on Tantally? No, I have not. Isn't Tantally the one that makes all the sex toys? Not that I should know that. Gonna do fireworks show this weekend. Nice. What about Elon started making guns? They would be all electric and probably wouldn't work good. Yeah, I know what that shelf is. Want to make it an Obras? No, thanks. It's a numbers matching 42. I'm gonna start putting some on layaway hopefully after August. Let me know, dude. If I'm still in business, I'll take care of you. You have all that info about Rule 34? Dude, I'm a dude. And I get horny. Gatling guns are cool. So as a Class 3, I could buy a display GAU 2, which is the minigun that usually mounts to like the top of Tahoes and shit. I can get one for 68 grand. It's the name of the gun shop, Wind City Armory. Didn't Elon make a flamethrower that he was giving out for free for a while? I can't remember. I think so. Guys, we are at 11 o'clock. I need to go to bed because I'm supposed to go to the range tomorrow, and I still have to edit 3 videos. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Help me out here, guys. Just do that. You don't have to donate. Money is great, but if you don't, that's fine too. When your miniguns run out of solar with 200 rounds left. Tesla. Just to make Brandon cry. He would. He kind of wants it. Saying my sometimes. Oh, by the way, thanks for coming over and helping me lift a 350-pound box off my truck. Yes, in Winchester. Later, bud. Later, David. Thank you. Me and Jacob lifted the box off the truck by ourselves. It was stupid. 320 pounds with 2 people and one's disabled. Where's the best place to buy ammo? AmmoSeek.com. Trust me. If you like Mia Khalifa, she's all right, but she's not my style. Stand by. I show why. Yeah, send me the text. I'm sure you got hurt. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Boring Company. I think I've heard of that one. Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good night. Here, look at my distressed DWX as I click on the button. You guys have a good night. I will talk to some of you later. The rest of you can, well, your mom can suck my, anyways. You guys have a great night, all right?